Carlos Delgado of the Blue Jays. Manny Ramirez of the Red Sox. Next. And here on Wednesday Night Baseball on ESPN2, we welcome you north of the border to Skydome in Toronto. Blue skies overhead and the roof wide open as the two highest scoring teams in baseball, the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, get set to tangle again here tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Schulman. Surprisingly, last night, a low-scoring game, 2-1 for the Red Sox in 12 innings here in Toronto. But is that about to change? You look at the lineups, and you kind of feel that it is. Manny Ramirez of the Red Sox is headed to the All-Star game for the 7th time in his career, and he's had extraordinary success here at Skydome, including one of the longest home runs ever hit in this ballpark into the 500 level a couple of years ago. Much more recently than that, one of the longest home runs anybody'd ever seen at Yankee Stadium into the upper deck just a few days ago. Manny Ramirez, another terrific season, deserving of an all-star berth. David Justice joining me here at Skydome tonight. What makes Manny Ramirez so good?
Well, being one of the fortunate players to have played with him on a daily basis, what makes Manny so good is Manny's one of the first guys at the stadium every day, always working on his swing. I remember we played with Cleveland, he'd be in the cage hitting his curveballs. But one thing about Manny is the most effortless stroke. He has a great eye, great balance, and he's on a team with other guys around him like Veritek, Nomar Garciaparra, and Trot Nixon, who are having big seasons as well.
One of the few guys who can put his numbers up against Manny's and feel pretty good about himself is Carlos Delgado of the Blue Jays, who is leading the major leagues in home runs and RBIs right now, and like Manny Ramirez, has been voted to start the All-Star game next week. He's had some monster home runs in this ballpark as well. Same question, what makes Delgado so good?
Well, see, Delgado and Manny are in the same situation. There's nothing better than being on a team where if you don't get the big hit, you have guys around you in a lineup that can pick you up. And Delgado has Vernon Wells, he has Eric Hensky back now. So both these guys are in great positions. They can just relax and do what they do best, and that's hit the baseball.
Could be a challenging night for the pitchers here tonight. Derek Lowe, though, has won 7 in a row for the Red Sox since a very tough start. He'll try to extend that streak. Kelvin Escobar will be on the mound for the Blue Jays. It'll be Jason Veritek, Manny Ramirez, and the hot-hitting Red Sox taking on an equally good offensive team led by all-star Vernon Wells and Carlos Delgado next.
Untroubled by the concerns of ordinary men, Chef Jimmy of Quiznos Sub is dedicated to one purpose: creating the perfect focaccia bread for Quiznos Tuscan Chicken Sub. He can think of nothing else.
Did I leave the gas on? It's off.
Quiznos' new Tuscan Chicken on herb focaccia bread. Toasted to bring out the flavor.
Toasty.
How do you keep a car from ending up like this? Try Armor. Armor All Protectant. It does more than clean and shine. It protects.
Welcome to Sirius, the world's only satellite radio service with 100% commercial-free music. 100 streams, including 13 rock, 10 pop, and 9 hip-hop and R&B, plus sports news and entertainment. And now, take it from your car to your home. The $99 plug-and-play. Rock the house, rock the car, rock wherever. 100 streams of satellite radio. Sirius, it's on.
The Kia Sedona. It's the minivan with the government's highest safety rating and the lowest price. Now get the Kia Sedona starting at $17,615 after $3,000 cash back.
From city to city, state to state, and coast to coast, Verizon Wireless is helping to bring families closer together with unlimited night and weekend minutes. It's all part of the America's Choice National Family Share Plan, giving your family unlimited night and weekend minutes to share on up to 4 separate lines, so they can say whatever, whenever, wherever. And now, save big on select LG phones. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you, come rain or shine.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Sometimes when the little guy doesn't know he's a little guy, He can do great big things.
Seabiscuit, rated PG-13.
ESPN2's Wednesday Night Baseball, brought to you by Quiznos. Try our Tuscan chicken sub. Toasty. And Armor All. It doesn't just clean and shine, it protects.
And along with David Justice, I'm Dan Schulman, and welcome back to Skydome in Toronto for this Wednesday night action here on ESPN2. Divisional rivals, the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays, currently sitting second and third, respectively, in the American League East. The Red Sox 3 back of the Yankees, the Blue Jays 7 back of the Yankees. Last night, it was Jason Varitek with an RBI single in the 12th inning, as the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 2-1. And today it was announced, just a few minutes ago in fact, that Jason Varitek has been rewarded for this hit, the game winner last night, and all the other good things that he's done this year, by being the player who has been voted by the fans among the 5 players on that final ballot to go to the All-Star game. So Jason Varitek will represent the Boston Red Sox in Chicago next week at the All-Star game. He had some pretty tough competition. Frank Thomas was on that list. Jason Giambi was on that list. But Varitek will join Nomar Garciaparra and Manny Ramirez as Red Sox All-Stars next week. Now, Nomar, by the way, not in the starting lineup tonight. Nothing wrong, but he's 2 for his last 26. And Grady Little said before the game, quote, "That bat's feeling pretty heavy right now for Nomar, so he'll give him a night off." Freddie Sanchez will get the start at short, but still a lot of firepower for these Red Sox. Bill Miller's had a terrific year. David Ortiz, back-to-back multi-homer games at Yankee Stadium over the weekend. Kevin Millar. Johnny Damon dropped out of the leadoff spot, responded with 3 hits, including a couple of doubles, a walk, and a stolen base last night. But this is the guy that it all keys around. Manny Ramirez, pretty as relaxed before the game as he is when he hits. Does he know you're here? Did you see him before the game?
Yeah, I saw him before the game. You know, he was happy to see me. He came up to me and told me, "Hey, you've been saying bad things about me." I said, "Man, I haven't had a game with you yet, so I know you're messing with me now, but what a great hitter he is."
Maybe the best right-handed batter in baseball. Kelvin Escobar will be on the mound for the Blue Jays. Over his 6 years in Toronto, he has been a starter, a closer, a spot starter, a middle guy, a setup guy. You name it, he's done it. 38 saves last year. Was the closer at the beginning of this season. Now he's back in the rotation. You were saying before we went on the air, this guy's stuff is so good that he should be winning more than he actually has been.
You know, he's still relatively a young guy, but like you said, I mean, he's closed. He's been a starter before. One thing about Kelvin is just his lack of consistency. One day he'll be a Cy Young type pitcher. Next day, you know, he'll be very inconsistent, but he has outstanding stuff. I mean, he's a above average fastball, great split finger. He throws a tight slider. I mean, he has all the physical talent in the world. Is just putting it together above the shoulders.
The defense behind Kelvin Escobar tonight. The Blue Jays have not been an especially good defensive team. 3rd from the bottom of the American League in fielding percentage. Their best defensive player would be Vernon Wells out in center field, who is now getting a lot of notoriety for what he has done offensively with 80 RBIs. But up here in Toronto doesn't get a lot of attention down in the United States. But this guy is a gifted defensive player as well.
Yes. Has all the tools in the world, and you know, they're happy to have him. I mean, he's come up a few times last couple of years, but he's showing what he's capable of doing this year.
Vernon Wells, just his 2nd full season in the major leagues, and he's going to the All-Star game next week, as is Jason Varitek. We don't even know if Varitek knows. We just found out about 15 minutes ago that he won the voting. And a well-deserved honor, I believe, as well in the National League side, that Jeff Jenkins of the Brewers is the guy who has won. But Jason Varitek has had a terrific half season. He's already got 15 homers and 51 RBIs. Tremendous numbers for a catcher, and we can confirm that it is Jeff Jenkins of Milwaukee who will be joining Richie Sexson as Brewer representatives at the All-Star game on Tuesday. Well, that's probably the furthest thing from his mind right now. The Red Sox and perhaps the Blue Jays as well are in a pennant race right now, both trying to catch the Yankees in the American League East. Trot Nixon's going to lead it off for Boston. Grady Little juggled his lineup around last night because some guys had been struggling. Nixon was moved up to the leadoff spot. We mentioned Johnny Damon moved down. It helped Damon. It didn't help Nixon. He went 0 for 6 in the 12-inning game last night. But look at those numbers. I mean, top to bottom in this Boston lineup, David, they are crushing the ball.
Yeah, this team is amazing. I mean, seven of their main players are hitting over 300 men in scoring position. That's just absolutely amazing.
The Red Sox as a team, first in the major leagues in runs scored, batting average, slugging percentage, and on base percentage. And in a number of those categories, the Blue Jays are second. Upstairs is Escobar, 2-1. That's why that 2-1 game last night was somewhat surprising. But we should mention Roy Halladay was on the mound for the Blue Jays, and he's going to the All-Star game. Grady Little had knuckleballer Tim Wakefield out there last night, and he had a nasty knuckleball for 7 innings here last night.
Yeah, I talked to Wakefield before the game. He told me it was dancing all over the place last night. I said it must have been if you held him to just one run.
Trot Nixon leading it off for the Red Sox, and a swing and a miss out in front of the off-speed Offering, and it is 2-2.
See, that was a great off-speed pitch changeup by Kelvin Escobar right there, and that's what he needs to do tonight. Mix his pitches up, because if he can get that pitch working for him tonight, that'll make his fastball, which has been clocked as high as 97, even faster.
Veteran Greg Myers, who started off with the Blue Jays back in the 80s, is back with them this year. As he catches that pitch in the dirt, and it's 3-2. And Myers has found the fountain of youth this year. He's hitting .344. Kind of contagious on both of these teams right now. After Nixon, Bill Miller, and then Todd Walker here in the top of the first inning. Nixon pokes it the other way, breaks his bat, but he's rewarded with a base hit and maybe an extra base hit as he digs for second and will be in there without a throw. A leadoff opposite field double to left for Trot Nixon.
Well, Escobar gave him a fastball away here with 3-2, and that's probably the best he could do with that pitch, was just kind of flick at it. Fortunately, he was able to keep it fair for a double. So here's a ball out over the plate, and he was actually stepping toward first. That's why he hit it off the end of the bat. But he was able to keep it fair. He broke his bat, so obviously that bat died a good soldier.
A leadoff double for Nixon, and here's Bill Miller. And what a story this guy has been this year for the Red Sox. Among the league leaders in hitting and leading the league in doubles with 30. He hits one into shallow right center. Orlando Hudson with a long throw, and it skips through the legs of Delgado. So Miller is safe at first, and Nixon comes to third.
Well, he showed nice range on this, but the throw sort of handcuffed Delgado at first base, and he wasn't able to make the pick. And that's nice range and a nice throw. He just handcuffed and didn't give him a good hop.
One of those plays you'll see infielders on turf sometimes use the turf to get a true bounce, but his throw actually got a little bit too close to Delgado for the bounce and hit the dirt.
Just handcuffed him a little bit and made the play a lot tougher for Delgado, and he wasn't able to make the pick.
So first and third, nobody out for the Red Sox in the first inning, and the batter was the second baseman, Todd Walker. Walker having a good season, hitting .296, big RBI numbers as well with 49. It seems once these Red Sox get rolling, they can have some very big innings, and nobody knows that better than the Florida Marlins, who were on the wrong end of a 14-run first inning a couple of weeks ago. Boston didn't let up at all. They scored 25 in the game. Not that you want to plant those thoughts in the mind of Kelvin Escobar or any other starter who's out there, but everybody knows how potent this team is offensively. And the big guys waiting on deck. Manny Ramirez. Fly ball into left. Shannon Stewart does not have a strong arm as he sets up underneath it to make the catch, and Nixon will easily come in to score, and then down to second alertly goes Bill Miller. Good aggressive base running by the Red Sox, and it may be a mistake by Shannon Stewart, who does not throw out many runners at all.
Well, see, that's a particular play where Vernon Wells has to get over there the best he can. There's not a lot of people here tonight, and try his best to let him know that, hey, he's tagging from first base. Because if Shannon knew he was tagging from first, he would have went to second base. It's a heads-up play by Miller to take second base. And that's one of the reasons why they traded Shea Hillenbrand, because of the way he's been playing this season. But it's a heads-up play by him. But, you know, Vernon has to do his best to get over there and tell him, hey, he's tagging from first, so that throw would go to second.
An early lead for the Red Sox, and a runner at second with one out for Manny Ramirez. There's a fastball in for a strike at 95. Ramirez is 7th in the American League in batting, and he is 5th in RBIs. He won the batting title last year, and in his career he's got 35 home runs against the Toronto Blue Jays. care. He beat him up as an Indian. Now he's beating him up as a Red Sox.
He's beat up a lot of people, man. That's not just single out Toronto.
Look at that. And that's in just about 400 at-bats. Not even a full season. Not even close.
I don't think they send the scouts out to really scout Manny. They don't do a good job scouting Manny.
Well, tell us, because you played with him. He's one of these guys, and you always hear these stories. He doesn't even want to know who the pitcher is. He doesn't care if he uses his bat or your bat or anybody else's bat. He just likes to go up, see the ball, and hit the ball. Is that all true?
Well, the part about the bat is true, but Manny knows what he's doing. I mean, he likes you to think that he doesn't know anything about the pitcher, but he knows exactly what the pitcher has.
1-2 from Escobar, taking low. So he can sit there and he can sit down with an Escobar and say he throws a fastball, he throws a splitter, he did this to me last time I saw him. He's into all that?
Well, see, Manny's been in the league a long time now, so he's seen all these guys. So he knows what their out pitches are. He knows the type of quality pitches that they have. Manny just is laying in the weeds, we say, just making it seem like he doesn't really concentrate on what a pitcher has, but he knows.
In the dirt, 3-2 on Ramirez.
See, that's what makes Manny such a good hitter. I mean, he has such a great eye that he's always putting himself in a position where he's going to get a good pitch because he has such a great eye. And if you have to throw Manny strikes, he has such great plate coverage that he can hit everything with authority.
You saw at the top of the show the ball he hit into the 500 level, the 5th deck here at Skydome, something that's only been done about 10 times in the 14 years of this stadium. 3-2 pitch. He attempted to check the swing, and he succeeded as he takes ball 4. These two teams fairly close to one another in the American League East. They were closer a couple of weeks ago, but the Blue Jays have struggled since then. The Red Sox, of course, just coming off a very interesting 4-game series at Yankee Stadium where Boston won the first 2 and then the Yankees won the last 2. The Blue Jays just a couple of weeks ago were just a game out of first, but then they had some trouble against Detroit and Baltimore. And we'll get into this a little bit later, but for the Blue Jays in particular, this is a very important stretch. 2 weeks in and out of the All-Star break where they play only the Red Sox and the Yankees.
You're right. I mean, this is so important, these next, 13 games coming up, because they have an opportunity to really move up quickly in the standings if they play well. Conversely, if they don't play well, they could really fall, I mean, so far back that they would be totally out of contention.
Carlos Tosca, the manager of the Blue Jays. Grady Little, the manager of the Red Sox. David Ortiz is the batter. A swing and a line drive, base hit into right field. Reed Johnson will cut it off. Bill Miller around third, and he will score an RBI single for Ortiz and an early 2-0 lead for the Boston Red Sox. David Ortiz coming off that big weekend we talked about in New York with a back-to-back 2-homer games at Yankee Stadium, and he got a hanger, didn't he?
Yep, he got a hanging breaking ball right out over the plate. And this is a situation here where Escobar, really has to keep his wits about himself. I mean, don't let this game get too far, away from him. He's only really one pitch double play from getting out of this. So keep focusing on the mid and keep pitching. Don't lose concentration.
As you can see, Escobar, as a starter this year, has done very well in the first inning. His history as a starter has been he can go 4 or 5 innings and literally have a no-hitter going or be very close to a no-hitter and then not get an out in the next inning and come out of the game. And that's why he has frustrated the Blue Jays. Then they moved him to the closer spot. This year he didn't do well. A couple of years ago as a starter, he had kind of a mysterious numbness problem in his throwing arm, but it only cropped up in the middle innings. So that's when they moved him back to the bullpen again. But now he's back in the rotation, and he's a guy, if the Blue Jays fall out of contention, might not even be a Blue Jay much longer because he's a free agent at the end of the season.
And see, everyone recognizes his talent, his potential. It's just getting him to take it to that next level that no one has seemed to be able to get him there.
Kevin Millar is the batter as the Red Sox try to break it open here in the top of the first. Millar, the first baseman, more good numbers for him, including 59 RBIs for the former Florida Marlin. A guy who everybody says just loves to come out to the ballpark and play the game as much as anybody in the big leagues. Just appreciates every moment that he's in the big leagues. Took a good one, and it's 1-1.
Well, he's a good friend with Gary Sheffield, and he say he gets a little of that bat wiggle from Sheffield. But he's a baseball player, true and blue. If you look at this whole our Red Sox ball club, it seems like they can't wait to get dirty, you know, once the game starts. That's the type of team they have.
Got 2 runs in already as Millar takes it a little bit down and in, 2-1, and another hitter's count here for another dangerous Boston hitter.
Escobar's putting himself in situations here where he has to come with his fastball because he's not able to basically control himself in the strike zone.
Derek Lowe's going to have at least a 2-run lead when he tries to extend his winning streak to 8. Millar fouls it off, 2-2. One thing to keep an eye on with Derek Lowe, and we'll get into this when he's out on the mound, he's a sinker ball pitcher. More than any other pitcher in the baseball, he gets a ton of ground balls, and historically he has not done well at all on artificial turf in Toronto and Minneapolis and other places. All those ground balls, or a lot of them, seem to have a habit of getting through here on the fast artificial surface. So the more the merrier as far as Lowe is concerned. Pat on to that lead. Ground ball down to third. Hinsky, Hudson, Delgado, double play. There's the one pitch David was talking about as Escobar gets out of it. The Red Sox, though, get 2 and give Derek Lowe an early cushion here in Toronto.
See that? That's 51 years old. 51 years old, and it can run a 508 mile. Can I do a 502?
Greg Borrow and Deal. Carrie's coming on too strong.
These people are horrible.
Harry can be a little too aggressive.
And Eric's just plain bugging.
I don't want to jeopardize the task because I'm fighting with Eric.
Greg Borrow and Deal 2, 8 Eastern, Tuesday on ESPN.
Are you game to pick up and go with Dodge and ESPN? You can win a trip to the Great Outdoor Games or a new Hemi-powered Dodge Ram. Watch the Great Outdoor Games for a special code. Then log on to ESPN.com for your chance to pick up and go.
Thank you. I'm attorney Rick Poster of the law firm of Phillips & Associates. In 1999, I authored the Arizona DUI trial book. Defending clients charged with a DUI is not easy. It takes skill, knowledge, and faith in your client's case. At Phillips & Associates, we can help. We have aggressive, experienced attorneys who will fight for your rights. If you've been charged with a DUI and need an affordable attorney, call on the experience of Phillips & Associates at 602-258-8888.
Great news for East Valley residents. Cox Communications is opening a brand new Cox digital store in Chandler, located at Chandler Festival. Come in and test drive the super fast Cox high-speed internet service. See the amazing new Cox HD TV, which offers a picture that's 6 times sharper than traditional TV with twice the color resolution. You can pay a bill or ask a question of one of our friendly sales reps. So visit the new Cox digital store at Chandler Festival at the northeast corner of the 101 and Chandler Boulevard today. And discover the benefits of today's latest technologies with Cox.
A rough top of the first for Kelvin Escobar as the Red Sox get a couple, but then he gets a double player. It could have been a lot worse. Here is the Toronto Blue Jay lineup. Second in baseball in a run scored to the Red Sox. Vernon Wells and Carlos Delgado really providing a lot of the thunder. They are the 2 position players for the Blue Jays who will be going to the All-Star game. And probably the 2 biggest challenges that Derek Lowe will face here tonight. Lowe 10-3 on the season, but with an ERA of 4.5 because of a really rough first month or so of the season. His ERA was up over 6 in early May, but he's brought it back down. And he is 7-0 in his last 10 starts as he faces the Blue Jays here tonight. Shannon Stewart, the left fielder, leads it off, and he bangs one out to the shortstop. That is Freddie Sanchez getting a start for Nomar Garcia-Parra tonight. 1 down. As we set the rest of the Red Sox defensively for you. And if you missed it a few minutes ago, Jason Varitek is going to the All-Star game. He was the player added to the American League team by virtue of you, the fans out there who were voting on various websites. Varitek beating out Jason Giambi, Frank Thomas, and others to go to the All-Star game. Jeff Jenkins of Milwaukee was the last player added to the National League team. There is Frank Catalanato. Catalanato's been one of the key acquisitions for the Blue Jays. They picked up some good character veterans in the offseason. None of them too expensive. Mike Bordick, Greg Myers the other, and that's Frank Catalanato. Line drive the other way for a base hit as we get our first update of the night. Pam Ward and Rob Dibble back in the studio.
All right, Dan, Bernie Williams is back. He's been out 6 weeks with that bum knee. His first at bat. The bases are loaded against CC Sabathia and the Indians. Ricky Gutierrez boots it. New York gets 3 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, Bernie Williams, since he's been gone, 25-17, so the Yankees sorely missed him.
Are off to a great start so far as we send it back to Dan.
Very good news for the Yankees that those injured players look like they're okay. Here is Vernon Wells to look at a strike from Derek Lowe. Wells with 80 RBIs, second to Delgado, his teammate, the American League lead. Drove in 100 last year pretty quietly, but it looks like he's going to blow by that in just a few weeks. Lines it fair into the left field corner. Ramirez to get it. Catalanato getting the wave at third. We're going to have a play at the plate. And he is in there safely as the throw is offline. Wells with RBI number 81. And it's Red Sox 2, Blue Jays 1. They've already scored as many runs here tonight as they did in all 12 innings, the two teams last night.
Well, and Derek Lowe is basically pitching how he always pitches. He has a tendency to run that two-seam fastball in on the hands on his right-handed hitters. Well, Vernon Wells handles the ball inside very well, and he didn't get it in there quite as far as he wanted to, and he was able to drive it down the line. But Derek Lowe, that's normally what he does. And this is some aggressive base running by Toronto's team, but they're a very aggressive ball club.
They don't steal a lot of bases, but they do run the bases aggressively, trying to take the extra base. And now Derek Lowe will face Carlos Delgado, having a monster season so far. He'll look at a strike. Delgado nearing 100 RBIs. He already has the 4th highest RBI total in the history of baseball before the All-Star break. And Manny Ramirez had the 3rd highest total with the Indians back in '99. A swing and a fly ball, deep right field, over the head of Nixon and off the base of the wall. Wells just now hitting third, getting the wave home. Into second with a double is Delgado, and it's a 2-2 tie. Want to get your over-under in now? How high is this one going to go here tonight?
Well, when he first hit this ball, I thought it was gone. But this was a sinker that was up in the zone and pretty much right in his wheelhouse. If you look at this ball, it's right up over the middle of the plate. And he puts a nice swing on it. Same swing he's been doing all season long. Consistently hitting the ball hard all year. But this Blue Jays team has come right back in the bottom of the first inning. You know, sending a message to Boston that, hey, we can swing the bats just as well as you can.
When the Red Sox were here back in May, the Blue Jays beat them 3 in a row and scored at least 10 runs in all 3 games. So it was really quite something to have last night's game be as low scoring as it was. We're in for a much different kind of game, it looks like, here tonight. Greg Myers, the catcher, comes up. Broke in with the Blue Jays way back in 1987. And now he has come back at the tail end of his career. But look at these numbers.
Well, he's 37 years young and having a great year this year. He's really come over here and done a great job for this ball club. And he's gotten in on the hitting as well. He did a great job last year in Oakland with that pitching staff, part-timing it with Ramon Hernandez. But what a great job he's done with this ball club thus far this season.
Playing him more regularly now than he has in a number of years. He was used a lot as a pinch hitter the last couple of years. I remember a big home run he hit to win a ball game. I think it was off Troy Percival last year, early in the season. Lowe falls behind 3-0. The Red Sox 2 in the top of the first. The Blue Jays 2 and counting here in the bottom of the first. Delgado out at second, 1 out. And it's ball 4 outside.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I know this Boston team is pretty surprised. I mean, Derek Lowe has pitched outstanding. You know, as we said, 7 of his last 10 outings he's won. They're not accustomed to seeing visits from the pitching coach in the first inning, but he just hasn't been able to locate that power sinker that he has over the outer part of the plate like we've been accustomed to seeing him over the past, what is it, 10 starts.
So both pitching coaches, Gil Patterson and Dave Wallace, getting visits in the first inning. And now Lowe needs what Escobar got, that ground ball double play, to get himself out of this mess. Escobar's got to be feeling a lot better than he was a few minutes ago.
Right, I mean, he's back to 0-0. Just see for Escobar, don't get so upset or worried about the past inning or the pitch that you hung. Keep concentrating on the next pitch. And I think at times Escobar himself has worried too much about the previous pitches instead of the one he needs to make.
Eric Hinske, the second-year third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays, the Rookie of the Year in the American League last year. Back after a broken bone in his hand, cost him a month on the DL. One of the reasons why his numbers are down. Lowe falls behind. He walked Myers on 4 pitches. Now he's 2-0 on Eric Hinske.
And this is a big pitch because he's thrown at least 5 balls in a row. And Hinske, with the power he has an option here to really center in on a fastball and swing or just take it.
Takes it down at in ball 3.
Now here's the situation. You got Hinske just coming back from being injured. He may not be, seeing the ball as well, working himself back. So you got to give him, don't swing right here for sure. Make him find the strike zone. I mean, he seems he can't find it right now. So make him throw you a strike.
And he does right on the outside corner. So it's 3-1 on Hinske, snapping a streak of 7 consecutive pitches that missed the strike zone.
And now look for your pitch and don't miss it because you're going to get a fastball.
Maybe out of the strike zone as he bounces one to short. The Red Sox will get only 1 out here, but that probably would have been ball 4 if he could have laid off.
And I agree with you on that. The ball was off the plate a little bit. Like I say, Hinske's just coming back, and he understands he swung at a pitch that was probably out of the strike zone. Fortunate for them, it wasn't a double play. But yeah, it would have been out of strike zone. Definitely not his pitch to really drive. And in a situation like that, you want to tell yourself, I need a pitch that I can drive here.
So first and third, 2 down, a couple of runs in. And the batter will be the right fielder, Reed Johnson, the guy who impressed the team in the spring but did not make the team on opening day. But came up when the Blue Jays had some injuries back in May, and he has played so well. Not only has he stuck, but he's still getting a lot of playing time. Frank Catalanotto was DHing tonight. Earlier, Josh Phelps was the regular DH for the Blue Jays, and Catalanotto would be in the outfield. But as Johnson has done well and Phelps has struggled a little bit, Phelps is out of the lineup. Jams a little flare into center field, and this ball is going to get down for a base hit. And another run will score. Delgado is in on the RBI single by Johnson. Hinske up to second, and the Blue Jays have taken the lead.
And see, this wasn't a bad pitch by Derek Lowe. I mean, this is what he normally does to right-handed hitters. Tries to run that two-seam fastball in on the hands and jam them. Reed Johnson was just able to get just enough of it to get it over the infielders. But you see this ball runs in on him, and it actually does jam him. He was able to get the bat head on the ball and just get enough to get it over the infielders. And as an outfielder, too, I mean, when you play on AstroTurf, that's the first thing you're thinking about is if I can't get to it, I got to make sure that I stay far enough back so this ball doesn't bounce over my head.
Here in Toronto, too, when the roof is closed, it's not as springy. But in the summer, when it gets warmer and they open the roof regularly, then the turf gets really springy, and a lot of good outfielders will see the ball bounce over their head. Orlando Hudson, the second baseman, comes up. It's a beautiful night tonight, so the roof is wide open. As you look, you've got the CN Tower up over the right field bleachers. 1-1 on Hudson, hitting .293. I had not met Orlando Hudson until the game today. He might be the most talkative person I've ever met in my entire life.
Hey, he's great. I was joking with him before the game. I love him. I love young kids that come in with all that exuberance. Can't wait to get the game started. Some of the guys were joking with him. He's one of the kind of guys that'll keep that clubhouse nice and loose. We need that.
I think his locker is right beside Vernon Wells' locker. Wells doesn't say anything at all. Maybe they put him together so that Hudson would have somebody to talk to, but I don't know that they've done Vernon Wells any favors.
Yeah, I told Vernon I've given up trying to talk to him. I'm just going to see if I can out-smile him. Because all Vernon does is smile and say hello, so I'm going to out-smile him.
2-2 pitch in there for strike 3 call to end the inning. But the Blue Jays come back and then some. 3-2 Toronto through an inning.
Sorry, I was driving too fast.
No, my fault.
You must be gelling.
Like a felon.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make any shoe feel outrageously comfortable. Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
vacation of a lifetime, jump in your Toyota Camry and head to Universal.
One of these cars is filled with new Shell gasoline. The gasoline specially formulated to give you better mileage. In fact, we have tests to prove it. So, if you took these 3 cars on an identical journey, new Shell gasoline would help one of them go farther.
Now this here, that's the drain plug. It lets the oil drain out into the pan. Remember, she's got a lot of mileage on her, but one day, she'll be all yours.
Help keep the family car in the family with Valvoline's Max Life. Max Life, the first motor oil specially formulated to recondition used seals to help prevent leaks, helping your higher mileage engine run for a long, long time.
After our naps, we'll flush the radiator.
Now there's an entire line of Max Life products that'll help keep your higher mileage car around for a long time.
Get ready for the summer's best movie. It's the must-see movie of the year. Pirates of the Caribbean, rated PG-13, now playing.
I always stay at Motel 6 because they have the lowest price of any national chain. And they welcome my dog. He likes that so much. He insists on paying.
We'll leave the light on for you in Accor Hotel. Johnny Damon leads it off for the Red Sox here in the top of the second and looks at a strike from Kelvin Escobar. There are some Red Sox fans in attendance here tonight, and we heard some of them in the top of the first inning when Boston was scoring a couple of runs. Damon will line a ball into center field, and it'll get down and bounce off Vernon Wells, and Damon thinks about it, but then respecting the arm of Wells, wisely retreats to first. Damon is now 4 for 5. Going back to last night when Grady Little said, you know what, let's give you a break. You're struggling, get you out of the leadoff spot, drop you down in the order, and so far so good.
And sometimes a change in that batting order, you know, can ease some of that pressure that you put on yourself, you know, as a hitter. I mean, if you're leading off, you have that pressure to have to be the table setter to get on. Moving down to the 7th hole, I mean, he's leading off this inning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But, hey, maybe it's a psychological thing. He's hitting 7th, so he's not really a leadoff hitter. But he's a good player. I mean, before you know it, he'll probably be back up in that leadoff slot. But all hitters go through tough periods, I mean, throughout the season. And, you know, Grady Little just thought, hey, let's move him down a little bit and see what happens. And he's responding well from that, you know, where he is in the order.
Damon definitely a threat to go. 17 steals on the season, 5th in the American League. Jason Varitek, the batter, the latest addition to the American League All-Star team, as Damon's running. Pitch taken, throw very high, and in easily and ahead for a slide is Damon.
Well, Kelvin Escobar is a guy who you can definitely steal off of. And Johnny Damon, I mean, he's got a high leg kick, and Johnny Damon being a track star in his former days in high school, still showing that blazing speed.
His only concern was he almost overslid the bag.
He stole this easily. If you look at this Boston team, I mean, they have a blend of speed. They have a blend of guys who can drive the ball at the ballpark and guys that can drive it in the gaps. And this is a very good hitting ball club.
2-0 the count on Varitek. And a line drive, base hit into right field. Johnson over to cut it off in the corner. Damon will score easily as the ball comes into second. First, Derek Lowe gives a lead away. Now Kelvin Escobar has given it right back.
But you look at this team, this is playing baseball right here. Varitek needed to get a pitch that he could pull to that side because at worst, he wanted to get Johnny Damon to third. He gets a pitch that he is trying to pull, was able to pull it for a base hit, so he got something out of it. But his whole intention here was to pull the ball to that side so he can move the runner over to third base. So as good a hitting ball club as they have, they will do the ABCs of baseball and do the little things that it takes to score runs.
Same combination that clicked in the 12th inning last night for the run that won it for the Red Sox. Varitek driving in Damon. Here's Freddie Sanchez giving Nomar Garciaparra a night off. Sanchez playing sparingly. Hitting .222, was hitting .384 in the minors when he got called up when Shea Hillenbrand was traded to Arizona. In a deal that appears to be helping both teams. Shea Hillenbrand went nuts a couple of days ago. 5 for 5, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. for the Diamondbacks, and Young Hyun Kim has now been installed as the closer after starting off as a starter for the Red Sox. Looks like the Boston bullpen starting to get itself sorted out.
And you're right, it's a trade that helps both teams. I mean, I've always liked Shea Hillenbrand the way he plays the game. But this is definitely a trade where you can say it helps both teams.
Fly ball into left field, and this will take Stewart back a ways. He's there with plenty of room to make the catch for out number 1. It's that time of year, July, when you think about trades. You know, the players think about trades. You can tell us about that. The Red Sox wondering if they're going to go out and get anything else, any more pitching to help them. And the Blue Jays at that point of the season where they don't know if they're buyers or sellers. Depends how they do maybe this next couple of weeks against the Red Sox and Yankees. Are they in the race or out? J.P. Ricciardi is working with a limited payroll down around $50 million. And if the Blue Jays are in, they might do something small, not a blockbuster. But if they're out, players like Shannon Stewart and Kelvin Escobar might be wearing different uniforms by the end of the month.
You're right. I mean, these next couple weeks, I mean, will tell the whole story. And there's nothing worse, though, than at this time of the season when they're talking about you being traded. I mean, it's great if you're on a team that when you get traded, that's going to make the playoffs. But when you go from a team that was already, slated for the playoffs, go to a team that's a losing team, I mean, that's a tough transition.
Trot Nixon, the batter, doubled and scored in the first inning. Mike Lowell's gone through it a lot this year, the outstanding third baseman for the Marlins, and the Marlins recently announced that he's off the market. But before then, you had fans in Chicago, Cub fans, and Dodger fans going crazy, thinking that he was going to be going to one of those two teams.
But a guy like Mike Lowe, I mean, he would be going to a team that's in the playoffs.
There's a base hit into left field. Nixon knocks one the other way. Veritek to second. In Los Angeles, the other side of the coin, while all that was happening, is some of the young Dodgers like Guillermo Mota and others were going to Dodger management and saying, we keep hearing our names. We keep hearing we're going to get traded for Mike Lowell. Is there any truth to this? And then that kind of puts the GM and the manager in a tough spot because maybe there is some truth.
Yeah, I mean, there is always maybe a little bit of truth when you start seeing it reported, daily. And guys, you're like a family when you're in that clubhouse. I mean, you 25 guys, you go to spring training, you prepare to battle for a long season to put yourself in position to make the playoffs and go to the World Series. And all of a sudden you get traded, and it's like you're like an orphan.
Yep.
You go to another team, you don't really know the guys that well. It's a different route to the stadium. You don't get your coffee, you don't get your Starbucks, from Susie May anymore. You get it from somebody else in a whole other area code.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a tough transition.
But you're still getting your Starbucks.
Yeah, but it's a tough transition, especially when you go from a winning team to a losing team.
Miller fouls one back, and it's 0-2.
I mean, a guy like Mike Lowe, he's not going to be upset if he's traded to the Cubs or the Yankees or a team that has a very good chance of going to playoffs. He's not going to be upset. But whoever gets traded from that Yankee ball club, to Florida, so to speak, because they're not going to be in the playoffs, that's a tough one.
Yep. It's bounced in.
I'm not saying anything about Florida. That's just the only team that's really coming to my mind right now. But,
well, you hear a player like Brian Giles from Pittsburgh who might get dealt. The Mets obviously looking to unload people. Pretty good block there behind the plate.
And that's exactly how they teach it. Go to your knees and take it off the chest protector. He's been doing it for a long time.
Escobar's given up another run here this inning. 2 on with only 1 out. And the 1-2 to Miller. Swinging a ground ball to second. Hudson shovels to the back for 1. Back to first. Another double play. Escobar's gotten 2 in as many innings. Blue Jays coming up with a 3-3 tie.
Made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you got to go talk to your doctor.
See your doctor and find out if Viagra is right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
Ah, I love the smell of this new sandwich.
How is it you can smell when you don't have a nose?
What do you mean I don't have a... What? Where did it go?
Arby's new Market Fresh 5-Star Club. Oven roasted turkey and ham plus 2 cheeses on new Harvest White bread.
Nice nose, Oven Mitt.
Thanks.
But how do the glasses stay on if you don't have any ears?
What? I don't have any... I don't have ears!
Arby's new Market Fresh 5-Star Club.
What are you eating today?
Drinks before lunch?
Water's fine for me. Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams.
I'll have a Sam also. Me 4.
Nice. Never miss an opportunity to enjoy a tasty Samuel Adams lager, especially when it's on someone else's tab. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
Designing an all-season tire to outperform performance tires wasn't rocket science. Then again, maybe it was. Pilot Sport AS. Our most advanced Z-rated tire ever. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Chill out, cash in. Buy 4 Michelin tires and get a $50 rebate. See your Michelin dealer. Offer ends July 31st.
Hi. Hi. Mortgage application. Me too. Bye. Hi.
The mortgage application with 80% less paperwork from Bank of America. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Toronto. Dan Shulman and David Justice with you. A 3-3 tie here in the second inning between the 2 highest scoring teams in baseball this season, the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. The number 9 hitter for the Blue Jays will lead off the second inning. Shortstop Chris Woodward, batting .257 with 5 homers.
And Derek Lowe isn't changing his approach. He's still trying to run that 2-seam fastball inside, establish inside, then start working that slider away.
Missed away there, and it's a ball and a strike. Let's go Patterson, the pitching coach, trying to maybe change the approach of Kelvin Escobar. Down and away 2-1. I used to broadcast games up here, so I've seen about 100 of these Escobar games. This scene happens in every single one of them.
Well, because sometimes Kelvin Escobar will lose his confidence. You know, he gets out there, he gives up a bloop hit, or he walks a guy, and you see it in his body and his mannerisms. He gets down on himself, and it's just a confidence. Like he's smiling at him, let him know, hey, everything is okay, kid. You have great stuff. Keep pitching. Don't get down on yourself so hard, because that's something that Kelvin Escobar does at times. He gets down on himself too soon. But that's great to see the pitching coach right there, teaching, talking to him about pitching. Instead of letting him sit down there at the end of the dugout, all by himself, to sit and think about all the negative things that have just transpired.
Right. Best news for him is his offense got him 3 in the bottom of the first off Derek Lowe, as Woodward leads off the second inning. And he scorches one down to first. A nice play by Kevin Millar for the first out.
I mean, this is a good piece of hitting. Got to pitch low and away, but this is some outstanding defense. I mean, this ball is scalded.
Picked it right off the turf. So Millar, not known for his defense, makes a fine play. Now it's back to the top of the order for Shannon Stewart. Stewart on his way perhaps to his 5th consecutive season hitting at least 300. Doesn't run much anymore. Used to steal 40-50 bases a season. But his legs have gotten a little worn down playing on the turf for all these years. And the Blue Jays really don't believe much in running anymore. They have changed their philosophy, and they're trying to be a patient team. Take a lot of pitches, hit for power. They're using more of the Oakland A's philosophy, and it's no coincidence that their GM, J.P. Ricciardi, comes from the Oakland organization. Fly ball to center field. Plenty of room for Damon for out number 2. Back to Pam and Rob in the studio again.
All right, Dan, David Ross's first Major League home run last year off of Mark Grace. How about 5 in just 16 games this year as L.A. has that 1-0 lead over the Cards?
Well, they're getting offense any way they can. The team's scoring 3.3 runs per game this year, Pam.
Cardinals' best offense, though, in the National League. Let's take it back to Dan.
All right, Pam, thank you. No team has ever made the playoffs finishing last in its league in offense, and that's what the Dodgers are trying to do this year. not finished last in the league in offense. They pretty much got that one nailed down right now. They're trying to make the playoffs, but boy, it's tough to win games 2-1, 3-2 day after day. And we heard Odalis Perez speak out about it, get pretty frustrated about it just a few days ago.
Well, it is frustrating for their ball club. I mean, and you know, it's very frustrating for their hitters. You know, they don't want to be last. I mean, just from a pride standpoint, they understand that they need to pick it up. But that pitching staff has been outstanding, has kept them, the reason why they're where they are now. But they're starting to fall back because, you know, teams are scoring runs here and there, and if you score more than 3 runs against the Dodgers, you know, they don't do a great job of coming back and winning.
Now, especially with Brian Jordan, Dave Roberts, Fred McGriff on the DL. These two teams have no such problems. The Red Sox first in all of baseball, and the Blue Jays second.
See, when I look at these two teams, you just want your starting pitchers to keep you in the ball game, keep you close. This team is loaded. Both teams are loaded with such good hitting, you know, that keep your team close and wait for the big hit. Both teams hit great with men in scoring position. You know, that's why I say to Kelvin Escobar and not really to Derek Lowe, because he's probably more established in terms of knowing, probably having more confidence out there on the mound. But to a guy like Escobar, don't beat yourself up. Keep your team in the ball game, and you know the hitting will come up for you.
2-2 pitch, line softly into center. A 2-out single for Frank Catalanato, his second hit of the game. And has been a huge pickup for the Blue Jays this year, just hitting line drives all over the place. Just a couple of years ago in Texas, he hit .330 and finished 5th in the American League in the batting race.
Well, he's a good line drive hitter. Now, he's not a guy that's going to hit you 30 home runs, but he's going to hit you a lot of doubles in these gaps. You know, and this ballpark and AstroTurf is definitely made for his style of hitting.
And he knows if he can just get on, guys like this can do the big damage, and Vernon Wells doubled in Catalanato last inning, raising his average to an even 300. And now he slugs one toward the left field corner. Ramirez back, and he reaches up, and it makes a fine running catch out on the edge of the warning track. Blue Jays will leave a man on, and we're tied at 3 going to the 3rd. Manny will hit this inning for the Red Sox.
I need to go to the men's room.
But you know, one more thing. Yeah. Oh, you smell so good.
Going a full 12 rounds is all about stamina. That's why I like high endurance from Old Spice. No deodorant protects better. And it lasts longer because it evaporates more slowly. High endurance lasts longer than I do. But I'm working on that.
Get ready to surf, play, chat, and connect fast. Gateway's 300X home desktop features a fast Intel Pentium 4 processor and a big hard drive to give you the speed you need. And now you can really go fast with huge savings on broadband internet service. Get a great deal on the perfect high-speed combo. Are you ready? Call, click, and come in today. Ready Tech Go. Fast with Gateway.
Baum's Sporting Goods is the largest baseball and softball specialty store in the western U.S. Get fitted for the right bat, glove, shoes, and uniform, and then get the feel of your new bat in Baum's indoor hitting area. Baum's carries all the names you know, including a full line of Under Armour performance apparel. Did you know Baum's is the #1 Little League supplier in Arizona? Team, package, and coach discounts help you outfit your team in style. And Baum's has the equipment and apparel you need already in stock. Baum's Sporting Goods in Phoenix and Tempe. For baseball and softball, it's the only place to go.
ESPN2's Wednesday Night Baseball, brought to you by New Suave for Men. Great performance, great price, just for guys. And Las Vegas. The biggest, best resorts in the world all share the same address, only in Las Vegas.
Back here in Toronto, a 3-3 tie, top of the 3rd inning. Todd Walker, Manny Ramirez, and David Ortiz against Kelvin Escobar. Walker with a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning, picking up his 50th RBI of the season. And Escobar making a little more trouble for himself as he falls behind another Boston hitter. This is one of these situations where you say maybe if Escobar was a National League pitcher and actually had to hit against guys with stuff like his, he'd realize how tough it is to hit, and he would trust his own stuff a little bit more. Fly ball to center for the 1st out. Manny Ramirez coming up. Manny Ramirez helping the Derek Lowe cause defensively, David, in the bottom of the second.
Well, he made a nice running catch here. Went a long way for this ball. But I love this here. I mean, this is why you say that this team really gets along both on the field and off the field. So when a teammate makes a good play and to have everyone come up and shake your hand, you know, you can never have too much of that.
This is the organization that used to be known as the 25 players, 25 Cavs, but it looks like it's a much different bunch right now.
Yeah, not now. I mean, this is a team that really gets along. They really like each other. You go in their clubhouse. I mean, guys really enjoy being in each other's company.
Kevin Millar, part of that new atmosphere, I would think, in the Boston clubhouse. I was surprised how friendly all these guys were to you, given that you're walking down there wearing a Yankee World Series ring as you're talking to them.
Yeah.
They've let bygones be bygones, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm glad, because I don't think I could take on 25 guys there.
There it is. Look, I think it's the suit.
No, I know a lot of guys, you know, and
0-2 pitch and a fly ball into left center. It'll hang for Vernon Wells. 2 down.
You know, when you play a long time in the league, you know, get an opportunity to know guys as players, you know, and you become friends with a lot of guys. And you know, I played with Manny. I played with you know, Damian Jackson, and you know, it was great to see those guys. You know, it's always a thrill for me still to come out to the ballparks to see guys. I just come up here and spend my time with you, Dan, you know, instead of running around.
Next best thing, I guess.
Exactly.
A distant second to being down there on the field. Let's get a look at that ring.
My ring?
Just a little bobble.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was showing it. I apologize, Dan.
How many diamonds?
Well, I got to put my hand down because it's kind of heavy.
I can understand.
Thank you, Mr. Steinbrenner.
David Ortiz is the batter. Now you're just punishing the Boston fans here because, you know, it's been a while since they've won a World Series. A long time. Yankees have won 26. Red Sox going way back. But every year is the year. That's what all the Boston fans want. Just change that NY to a B, and then they'll be happy.
Yeah, but I tell you what, they got a great team this year. And, you know, it's going to be a great second half. I mean, they really assembled a solid ball club. I think with Young Kim being a closer now, that may set up their bullpen nicely. And you never know. I mean, that's a city that if they do win a World Series, I mean, they might have to put the National Guard. They might have to put a curfew out there during the 7th inning of the final game they win, you know, because they're gonna tear it down.
Fastball, strike 3 called. Ortiz is gone, and Escobar gets the Red Sox in order in the top of the 3rd.
With Club Ramada's twice as nice promotion, you earn free nights and miles at the same time. So check in and take off. Club Ramada's twice as nice. One more reason. No, make that 2. Why Ramada's a very good place to be.
Time to get to work. It's Monday morning. If you haven't left yet,
Starbucks Double Shot Espresso drink is an invigorating blend of espresso and cream to help you take on your day.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
All right, we're doing it. Come on, big money. Big money. Big 900. Okay. Give me an L. Yes, there's an L. Okay, I'll spin again. Big money. Big money. Big money. Big money. Yes. I will buy an I. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh. Hi, hon. Real busy. Okay, back to the guy. Woo! Big money.
New from Sony Ericsson. The most fun you can have with a phone. Michelle Annabeth Flaherty, will you marry me?
Yes.
There are some moments you want to last forever, and some
you get to have a bachelor party.
This is awesome! You can never forget. The gang from American Pie invites you
Not what he looks like. Back away from the animal.
to an American wedding.
The longer a marriage lasts, the longer you can go without sex.
Rated R at theaters August 1st.
What you save on Ramada's weekend rate? Spend on film. Book your own own getaway at Ramada.com. Ramada, a very good place to be.
Hundreds of the world's best outdoor athletes. Oh, what a great run! 23 outdoor events. Watch the 2003 Great Outdoor Games, presented by Dodge. Brought to you by Mossy Oak, July 19th through the 22nd.
Big start for the hitters here tonight. Tied at 3 in the third as Carlos Delgado leads off the inning for the Blue Jays. Delgado doubled in a run and later scored back in the first inning. And for Delgado, his 94th RBI of the season, leading the major leagues by a pretty wide margin. He didn't like that call at all from Marty Foster behind the plate.
And see, that's the pitch that Derek Lowe would love to be called all night long, because then you can go even lower and guys will start chasing it, and he'll start getting the ground balls that he wants.
He has been up a lot tonight. No pitcher in baseball, as we mentioned earlier, gets a higher ratio of ground balls to fly balls than Derek Lowe does.
Well, he has such a great sinker, and he has the ability to locate it consistently around the thigh and knee area, and as a result, he gets a lot of ground balls. He gets into trouble when he elevates that sinker, then it flattens out. It's more straight.
Breaking ball fouled off. 2-2. The count on Delgado. Delgado #1 in the major leagues in RBIs, as we mentioned. Vernon Wells is chasing him in the American League RBI race. He's got 81. It's only the second time in 30 years that two teammates have had 80 RBIs before the All-Star break. The only other time, a couple of years ago in Colorado, when it was Todd Helton and Larry Walker. 2-2, and he lays off a breaking ball down and away, full count.
And those are great numbers for a season, and we're not even at the halfway point.
The dreaded on-pace statistic. He's on pace to drive in about 167 runs this year.
Well, Delgado must love coming to the ballpark right now. I mean, seeing the ball consistently like a beach ball every day. But I guarantee you that's how he's seeing it. But I always wonder, Dan, when you come to the plate, you look at the scoreboard and you see those impressive numbers up there, why is it when guys are hitting 311, 28 homers, 94 RBIs, they walk a lot slower to the plate? It's like they want to let those numbers marinate a little bit.
That's right. Hooks the ball into the right field corner, and those numbers are going to get a little bit better, at least the batting average part. He's halfway to second base, changes his mind, and he is out cold going back to first. Trot Nixon got that ball back into the infield in a hurry, so Delgado will be credited with a single, but then thrown out trying to get back to the bag.
And Trot Nixon played this ball very well. I mean, as soon as he hit it, it was almost a sure double. But see, this is what defense does for your ball club. He did a great job of playing it off the wall, getting it in quickly with a strong throw, and he just caught Delgado a little bit too far off of first base. But this play started with Trot Nixon in right field, playing his ball extremely well off the wall.
Greg Myers hits one the other way. That's the third baseman, Miller, over there for out #2 as we go back to Pam and Rob in the studio again.
All right, Carlos Delgado going to be starting at first base in the All-Star game on Tuesday, and Jason Giambi going to get some time there. We'll see in this Cleveland game a couple of great scoops at first. First in the second inning, and then he completes another double play in the third. He replaces Mike Sweeney, who's out with the injury. Yanks up 3-0, Dan.
Pam, thank you very much. Eric Hinsky, the batter. Carlos Delgado, by the way, has agreed to be a participant in the Home Run Derby on a Monday night that you'll see on ESPN. Delgado's second trip to the All-Star game and second trip into Home Run Derby. He's swinging a foul ball, 0-2. Last I saw, the other confirmed participants were Brett Boone, Albert Pujols, and Jim Edmonds.
It's going to be great to watch Brett Boone. I mean, it looks like he's swinging for the fences every time
Yeah,
he swings.
does.
So it'll be exciting to watch. I can't wait to see him.
On the ground ball down to third. Miller to his left, and the Blue Jays are gone. Things have settled down. We are through 3, tied at 3 after the Blue Jays maybe let an opportunity get away. Delgado thrown out, trying to get back to first base.
You know, why don't you another hamster?
Good job.
Didn't the real estate agent say they were closing the ball field?
Do you have confidence in your real estate agent? Century 21 Pledge Point #2. Century 21 agents are honest and forthright. Just one of the ways to help reduce the stress of buying real estate. Century 21, the official real estate organization of Major League Baseball.
When you want a battery that keeps going, and going, and going, and going. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
Got the bunny inside.
If an 80,000-seat stadium can have a retractable roof, if a 60,000 horsepower submarine can run silently, if a 2-year-old can have 4-wheel steering, why can't you? At GMC, our engineers don't just ask questions, they have answers. GMC professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Untroubled by the concerns of ordinary men, Chef Jimmy of Quiznos Sub is dedicated to one purpose: creating the perfect focaccia bread for Quiznos Tuscan Chicken Sub. He can think of nothing else.
Did I leave the gas on? It's off.
Quiznos new Tuscan Chicken on herb focaccia bread. Toasted to bring out the flavor.
Toasty.
Welcome to Sirius, the world's only satellite radio service with 100% commercial-free music. 100 streams, including 13 rock, 10 pop, and 9 hip-hop and R&B, plus sports, news, and entertainment. And now, take it from your car to your home. The $99 plug-and-play. Rock the house, rock the car, rock wherever. 100 streams of satellite radio. Sirius. It's...
Back here for the top of the fourth, a 3-3 tie between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Dan Shulman and David Justice with you. Kevin Millar leads off the inning for the Red Sox and fouls one off. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. Kelvin Escobar, the Blue Jays starter, got another double play to end the second, and then got the Red Sox in order in the third. The breaking ball that he hangs a bit, but it's a fly ball to right field. Should be routine for Reed Johnson, one down. All right, let's revisit something we talked about at the bottom of the third, the home run derby. We talked about it because Carlos Delgado is going to be in it. You were in it in 1993 in Baltimore. How did it go?
Well, it was great. I mean, I think Juan Gonzalez won that year. I think I had 2 long home runs and a few line drives that didn't count. But I tell you, National League was robbed because Mike Piazza had some guy, some lefty throwing him sinkers. And Piazza, with all that power he has, didn't hit 1 home run. Because I think the American League put some guy out there throwing sinkers, because as soon as Piazza was done, they got that guy out of there, and they ain't seen him since then. That was over 10 years ago.
You're floating a conspiracy theory on who was pitching in the home run derby?
All I'm saying is they ain't seen the guy, haven't seen the guy since 1993 when he delivered the last sinker ball to Piazza that he rolled over to third base and didn't hit a home run at all. They helped the National League cause.
That's an ugly allegation, I got to tell you. Now, were you nervous? Was it fun? How did you feel going into it?
You know what? It was a lot of fun. And yes, I was nervous. That was my first All-Star game, having been voted in. And, you know, you're on center stage hitting it, and, you know, it was great. It was fun. But there were some guys in there that were hitting it a long way. Juan Gonzalez really put on a show that particular day. But it was a lot of fun. The whole All-Star experience, it was my first year. It was in Baltimore. And the first time is always the most special. You ask any guys, that first time you get that call, you find out that you're going to All-Star game, getting there and seeing all the guys and seeing all the fanfare. It was a great time.
Well, the home run derby Monday night on ESPN. And then the All-Star game will be Tuesday night from Chicago. And proud to say you'll hear that game on ESPN radio. I'll be doing it along with Dave Campbell. This guy's excited. He's going to the All-Star game. There are over 30 first-time All-Stars this year. Jason Varitek just voted on by the fans, as we found out, and maybe he found out just about game time. But you get a lot of guys going for the first time. Jamie Moyer, 40 years young. Jamie Moyer is going to the All-Star game for the first time.
It's going to be very exciting for all those guys. I mean, that first time is so special. Now, I still have the plane ticket, you know, from yeah, I have a picture from there. I mean, there's a lot of memorabilia that I still have from that very first one.
Varitek, a swing and a miss. He is gone, and the Red Sox are gone. All of a sudden, Escobar has retired 8 in a row. We're tied at 3, going to the bottom of the fourth.
ESPN
Insurance Sports. Available nationwide.
Just another day with Mike Lowry.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Ain't nobody getting away from me today. It's just raining Chevys, Mike.
From producer Jerry Bruckheimer and director Michael Bay.
We just want to talk. You want to talk? Well, go ahead. They can't hear you because they're still shooting at you.
Bad Boys 2, rated R. In theaters July 18th.
Century 21 Home Run Derby, Monday at 8 on ESPN.
On the way to Bonds, and he hits one a mile, and that one is into McCovey Cove. Terrell Owens is out there, and he's got it.
The ESPY Awards, celebrating our love of sports, July 16th at 9 p.m.
For over 27 years, the doctors at Emergency Chiropractic have been treating auto and work-related injuries with no out-of-pocket cost. And now with our newest location in Chandler, we have 12 offices valley-wide. For the Emergency Chiropractic location nearest you, check the back cover of your phone book.
Emergency Chiropractic, the kind of care you want today.
Buckle up.
I'm David Hastings for Hastings & Hastings, the discount accident lawyers. If you've been injured in an accident, the law firm you hire makes the difference. Will the law firm give you full service? We do. We find doctors who will wait for payment. We assist with rental cars, and we provide certified specialists. Will the law firm charge you fees of 1/3 or more? Not Hastings & Hastings. You'll be charged our discount fee. You can call us for free. Find us on the back cover of the Phoenix Yellow Pages. Discount fees for accident victims. It's about time.
Braves and the Cubs, Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. And the poll question this Sunday will be, halfway through the season, who is the National League MVP? Is it Gary Sheffield of the Atlanta Braves, one of 7 Atlanta All-Stars this season? I don't know, my vote's got to go to Albert Pujols. How do you do more than Albert Pujols has done? And if you're the Cardinals, you're in such a tight race in the National League Central. How can you say anybody's been more valuable to their team than Albert Pujols has been?
I mean, without him, they wouldn't be where they are. I mean, he's such a great hitter, and I still cannot believe he's only 23 years old.
Wait till he grows up.
Yeah, I mean, but they love him over there.
Last year, a player who played 4 different positions because they needed him to. This year, mostly left field, but he had that elbow problem. Sat him down for a while. They thought it might be serious. Maybe he'd need surgery at some point, but he's played through that. He's hit extraordinarily well. Chopper for Reed Johnson. Lowe off to the right of the mound to play it, and just in time to get Johnson for out number 1. Back to the studio again with Pam and Rob.
All right, the Indians are the second and worst fielding team in the American League, but you wouldn't know it here. Watch Coco Crisp just rob Todd Zeile.
Yeah, Todd Zeile's just going to hit a CC Sabathia fastball into the gap. Great jump by Crisp. He goes in, lays out for it on a nice soft grass. And this is very reminiscent of the 91 Indians right before they got good.
All right, Boomer Wells with the shutout so far, guys.
All right, Pam, thank you. Well, the Indians are certainly a different kind of a team now than when you played for them, when they were contending or winning divisional titles year after year. But they're young, they're talented, as Rob said. And when you get a pitcher named CeCe and an outfielder named Coco, I mean, you got to love these guys, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Definitely. You know, personally, playing there for 3.5 years, I just never thought that I would ever see that team go back to being primarily a young ball club. It's just really surprising to me. But they do have a lot of talent over there. It's some young guys, and you know, we'll see. It remains to be seen, you know, how they develop, and hopefully they will develop, you know, for that city, because they have some of the best fans there is in the game in Cleveland.
1-2 the count on Orlando Hudson. Well, as dominant as the Indians were in sellouts and that whole story in the mid-90s, that's exactly what this Toronto Blue Jay franchise was like in the early 90s. 4 million fans 3 years in a row, 2 World Series in a row, 92 and 93. 2-2 now the count on Hudson, and strange to see them not able to spend money, not filling the ballpark. You, in fact, were involved in one of the most significant plays in Blue Jay franchise history. In the 1992 World Series, you were then with the Atlanta Braves. The playoffs had a habit of following you around, by the way. If every year there was playoffs, you seemed to be in them. But this guy hit a ball to deep straightaway center field, and Devon White, a tremendous outfielder, went back and absolutely robbed him of an extra base hit, and the Blue Jays turned it into a double play, and they won that game, right? Blue Jays won that game in 3 and went on to win the series in 6.
Yeah, they had a great ball club, though. I mean, that was a World Series where when it was over and I went home, I really felt like, they were just as good, or we were just as good of a team as they were. They just played better baseball than we did. Whereas when Minnesota beat us in '91, I really thought we were the better team. We lost it, so that hurt me the most. But when Toronto beat us, I mean, I really tipped my cap to them because I thought they had a very solid ball club.
It was a 6-game series, and the Blue Jays won Game 6 in extra innings, if memory serves. Pitch in for a strike. Dave Winfield had the big hit that gave him a lead. Winfield's only year with the Blue Jays. He was a 40-year-old then and had a big year for them. And Mike Timlin, who is now a reliever for these Boston Red Sox, was a guy who came on in the 11th inning and recorded the save. Woodward, the batter, with a runner at first and 1 out. And if anybody is going to run on the Blue Jays, it'll probably be Orlando Hudson. There's Mike Timlin, who came up with the Blue Jays in '91 and got the save in that final game of the World Series in '92 because it had gone extra innings, and Dwayne Ward had already pitched and Tom Henke had already pitched. So they turned to the rookie.
You're mentioning names some of these young players probably never heard of.
Are we sounding old? We're dating ourselves
here? You're starting to date us. Nah, I'm just a shade over 27. Don't date us now.
All right. 0-2 on Woodward. And there's the famous story, actually, when Gene Tennis was a coach here in Toronto. Somebody was talking to him. He hit home runs in his first 2 at-bats in the World Series. Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled off at the plate. It hit him, actually, but he went around on a swing. And now they're going to send the runner back. Chris Woodward is wondering exactly what the call is. It looks like the ball hit him on the hand, but if he commits to a swing, then it's a strike. And now Carlos Tosco wants a bit of an explanation. Runs in on Woodward, but he definitely swings at it, and so Woodward is out. That was the 0-2 pitch, and even though it hit him, if you swing, it's a strike. So Woodward strikes out.
Oh, and Woodward was saying that it hit the bat, what he was trying to tell the home plate umpire, and he wasn't buying it. But that's what Derek Lowe will do that at times. I mean, it's such a good run on his sinker that things like that do happen, where it runs in so much that guys will swing and it'll hit them, or you can get some pretty ugly swings.
2 outs and a runner at first, and Hudson will draw another throw.
Both these pitchers, Escobar and Lowe, are starting to settle into the strike zone and make more consistently quality pitches now in this game.
Stewart is 0 for 2 on the night. Hudson, the base runner, has 5 steals, and that leads the team. But I would think if ever there's a time to run, it would be this kind of a situation. 2 outs and a runner at first. And again, the Blue Jays, because they're playing Oakland A's offense, if you will, their change in philosophy, they don't bunt. They've only got 4 sacrifices the entire season, and they don't run. They've only got 14 steals the entire season.
This is definitely a time to run, especially with Shannon Stewart, who's hit 385 in the scoring position. You want to get him over there.
Broken bat, a ground ball to short. Lowe avoids the bat. The infield takes care of the ball, and the Blue Jays are gone. We're still tied at 3, now going to the 5th here at Skydome.
1, 2, 23, 24.
That's what I warm up with there, Tiny.
When I'm not worried about the pain, I can play my game. New Tylenol 8-Hour relieves muscle pain fast and lasts all day.
What's that noise, Stewart?
New Tylenol 8-Hour, because not playing is not an option. Are you a Tylenol sore winner? Log on to ESPN.com and find out.
When you want to get something done out here, you got to do it yourself. Let's say you got some tonnage to move. Show 'em, boys. life's great out here when you get it done yourself.
I travel all over going to Scottish festivals, and I always stay at Motel 6. I get to rest, save money, and I'm very comfortable.
That makes one of us. We'll leave the light on for you in Accor Hotel.
Welcome aboard. Please turn off all unapproved electronic devices. We have a very crowded flight today, and all overhead space is full. The captain expects frequent turbulence, so please remain seated at all times. And we do anticipate a late arrival. Thank you.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you upgrade your travel plans, you win.
For the first time ever, the league that wins the All-Star game will earn home field advantage in the World Series. The stakes are raised. The intensity is back. This time, it counts.
Underway in the top of the fifth as Boston shortstop Freddie Sanchez looks at his strike. The Red Sox got 2 in the first, Blue Jays got 3 in the first, and then Boston tied it up in the top of the second. Ever since then, both Kelvin Escobar and Derek Lowe have really settled down. One hopper down to third to Hinsky, and Sanchez is gone, 1 down. So that is now 9 in a row set down by Kelvin Escobar as Trot Nixon comes up 2 for 2 on the night. Blue Jays and the Red Sox will meet again tomorrow, and then they'll play a 4-game series at Fenway Park right out of the All-Star break. Nixon 0 for 6 last night, but 2 for 2 so far here tonight. Infielders playing very deep, able to do so because of the turf here as the ball scoots out to you more quickly. You like hitting here in this ballpark or on turf generally?
Yeah, this is a nice ballpark to hit, and I do like the turf because, you know, ground balls pick up a lot of speed. Obviously then, you know, when you hit it on grass, and then also if you hit a line drive over the shortstop's head or if you hit a line drive over the second baseman's head, it's almost a sure double, because whereas if you're playing on grass, the ball, you know, the ball will be slowed down. Here, the ball will just pick up speed. It's almost guaranteed to go to the wall, which means a double for you.
What about playing outfield, though? After 3 days here, if you're not used to the turf, did it really wear on you?
Well, sometimes, yeah, but it's tougher to play outfield on these artificial surfaces because there's always times in which you want to dive, that you have to dive correctly or you're going to leave a whole lot of skin on the ground. You know, and that's something that we as outfielders think about, to make sure that you clear your arms, you know, and slide on your chest. I mean, certain things that you have to think about when you're playing on this AstroTurf, as well as your angles, because knowing that the ball picks up speed, you have to choose different angles, even in outfield, to try to cut off balls.
It used to be much more common. If you go back 15 years, St. Louis and Kansas City and Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati all had this kind of an artificial surface. But now Philadelphia and Tampa Bay have the newer kind with the artificial blades of grass, if you will. But for this stuff, I think it's down to Toronto, Montreal, and Minnesota.
Yeah, I like that surface in Tampa. But when you look at this AstroTurf, you know, I mean, talking about the angles in the outfield, I mean, the balls that are hit, if you take the wrong angle, you might turn a double into a triple. So it's so important to, you know, during batting practice, you know, to work on some of those things, because you know that last thing you want to do is turn a double into a triple. You know, you want to be aggressive, but you got to make sure you don't, you know, make sure your angles are correct.
A 1-out walk to Nixon as the Red Sox try to break the tie here in the top of the fifth. And here's Bill Miller, an infield hit and a double play ball. Lines one the other way, and that's a base hit in front of Stewart. Second on the play goes Nixon. So first and second for the Red Sox with only 1 out. Steroids, amphetamines, ephedra. For fans, the names of performance-enhancing drugs have become part of the language of sports. Winning at all costs, the drug culture in sports, a 1-hour Outside the Lines presentation explores the roots of drug use by athletes, details the growth of that usage, and chronicles the hotly debated issues of whether certain drugs should be legal or should be banned. Outside the Lines on ESPN tomorrow at 7 Eastern. Back here at Skydome in Toronto, a 3-3 tie. The Red Sox with 2 on and only 1 out. Todd Walker is the batter. And Escobar misses up and away, ball 1. With the All-Star break imminent, some teams are obviously altering their pitching plans and trying to give guys some extra rest, or maybe trying to get guys in a little bit more often. Nomar Garciaparra getting a rest here tonight. Struggling, coming in just 2 for his last 26. Swing a fly ball into right field. Johnson with the broom. Sets up for out number 2. Nixon will tag and come down to third, so runners on the corners, 2 down. What the Blue Jays have decided to do is try to get Roy Halladay and Kelvin Escobar in on short rest, David. Just 3 days rest, so they'll each pitch again before the All-Star break. And then Halladay is going to make the first start right out of the All-Star break on Thursday. So in this 12-game stretch against Boston and New York, Halladay is going to make 4 starts and Escobar is going to make 3. And as a result, Carlos Tosca, the Blue Jay manager, has asked Mike Scioscia, the American League All-Star manager, not to use Roy Halladay in the All-Star game.
Well, they understand as a team. I mean, all the players, I'm sure management as well, understand the importance of being successful, winning a lot of these ball games in the next 12, 13 games. Because they could pull themselves, I mean, within a tie if they play extremely good baseball.
Manny Ramirez with a bouncing ball to the right side. Charging is Hudson. Gets it to first in time to get Manny as the Red Sox leave a couple of men on. 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Blue Jays coming up in the bottom of the 5th.
Sorry, I was driving too fast.
No, my fault.
You must be gelling like a felon.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are so soft, they make any shoe feel outrageously comfortable. Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the bathroom.
We got a bleeder!
Mary's back.
My Mary? Uh-huh.
It's the all-new 2-disc collector's edition of There's Something More About Mary, with 15 minutes of more Mary, more Puffy, and more than 6 hours of outrageous extras. It's a DVD to sink your teeth into. Take home more Mary on DVD today.
I want what she wants.
I want what he wants.
For my home.
For my small business.
Unlimited local calls.
Unlimited long distance and high-speed internet access.
Together. For one low monthly price.
On one bill.
So that's what I got.
With MCI Business Complete.
With the neighborhood built by MCI. No surprises. That's what I want.
Get unlimited local, long distance, and high-speed internet for one low monthly price. Call 1-800-JOIN-MCI today.
Back at Skydome, a 3-3 tie, bottom of the 5th, as Frank Catalanato looks at his strike. Looks like a crowd of about 20,000 or so, which is what they had last night here in Toronto for this game against the Red Sox. And there are a lot of Boston fans here. Tries to check the swing, and he did. It's a ball and a strike. As Derek Lowe, this is a big inning for him with Catalanato, then Vernon Wells, and then Carlos Delgado coming up. This trio of Blue Jay hitters 5 for 6 against Lowe in this game. Make it 6 for 7. Catalanato has his 3rd hit of the game. Single to left, single to center, single to right. Let's go back to the studio. Pam and Rob.
Right, Dan, the Dodgers have had trouble scoring runs all year, but not tonight. Already up 4-1 over the Cards. Cesar Izturis going to single in Adrian Beltre and David Ross. First time since June 25th they've scored at least 5 runs in a game.
And Tony La Russa has not been happy with Tomko. He's 0-2 at home, but he has a 3 ERA. Strange.
He's struggling as we send it back to Toronto.
All right, guys, thank you. A base hit for Catalinato. 6 runs for the Dodgers. Holy cows, they've lost 10 of their last 11 trying to get back into the thick of things. The Diamondbacks, the hottest team in baseball, have blown right by them. Vernon Wells will look at his strike. The Dodgers were hot on the heels of the Giants, David, a little while ago, but they've been passed by the Diamondbacks and other teams. And boy, Arizona knows they're getting Curt Schilling back maybe this weekend. Randy Johnson back maybe next weekend. And a very hot team might get even better. Should get better, obviously.
Talking to everyone associated with Arizona, I mean, that's exactly what they've been saying is if we can be extremely close at the break and get our big guys back. You still got to get Greg Counsell back, and like you said, you get Randy Johnson be back. You have Schilling will be back, and I tell you, if you got those guys healthy, I mean, just the confidence they bring to your ball club, knowing that they're going to get the ball every 5 days, you know, that could be a team to be reckoned with in the second half.
Leadoff single for Catalinato. Vernon Wells, the batter, 1 for 2. For the Dodgers, on the other hand, they're a little bit worried again. Not only are they not scoring, but they desperately need Kevin Brown to be healthy and to be their ace. And he has been their ace when healthy, but dealing with a bit of an abdominal muscle pull. He missed a start last night. Don't know yet if he's going to make his next start Sunday. And as a result of that, don't know if he's going to the All-Star game. And it looks like Dusty Baker has basically come out and said if Kevin Brown cannot pitch, then everybody's favorite rookie left-hander, Dontrell Willis, is going to get to the All-Star game. And not only can this guy pitch, but he's got personality out there. He has really captured the attention of fans like a Mark, and we're going to sound old again, like a Mark Fidrich did, like a Fernando Valenzuela did. I want to see this guy pitch in the All-Star game.
Hey, so do I. I mean, I can't believe that, you know, there needs to be an injury in order for him to make the team. I mean, what he has done for the South Florida fans, and just, you love to see rookies come in, you know, with this type of fervor and the way he approaches, he's all arms and legs, and then here comes that gas.
Vernon Wells strikes out for the first out of the inning. And then a big out for Derek Lowe, because now he has to face Carlos Delgado, who's already got a couple of hits off him. A big break for the Red Sox back in the 3rd inning when Delgado singled and thought about trying to stretch it to a double. And Trot Nixon got the ball back into the infield in such a hurry that Delgado put the brakes on, tried to turn around and go back to first, but was thrown out trying to get back. Nixon with a great play out in right field. He is playing about as deep as an outfielder can play. Second baseman Todd Walker now backing up, taking about 6 or 7 big steps back out into shallow right field. Some infielders will play even deeper than that when Delgado was the hitter. So he goes the other way. A fair ball into the left field corner. Catalinato's going to be held at third. Delgado into second with his 3rd hit of the game. He is going to move into the top 10 in batting average in the American League. He might not be quite the triple crown threat that Albert Pujols is, but he's already got the lead in the other 2 categories.
This is actually a nice swing. He gets a sinker ball out over the plate, lets it get deep in the strike zone, and drives to left field. But this was not a better play, but this was a nice defensive play by Manny Ramirez. Puts himself in position to play the carom. Either way it goes, gets it and throws it in quickly. I mean, you have some tough corners here in this Toronto Sky Dome, where there's always a chance for a miscue that can cause you to lose, or can cause the runners to move up a base. And Manny did a good job of playing that ball well and getting it back in.
So 2nd and 3rd with 1 out for the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox will play the infield back. They'll give up a run to get an out. Greg Myers is the batter. He's walked and grounded out tonight.
And Myers has been outstanding with men in scoring position. Actually, this whole team, I mean, they're in 315 as a team with men in scoring position, which is very tough to do. But he alone is hitting 368. So all up and down this lineup, I mean, they've been doing a great job of hitting with men in scoring position.
I don't think if you were setting up the potential Blue Jay lineup at the beginning of the season as Lowe and Veritek want to have a chat, that you'd pick Greg Myers as the guy who would be giving Carlos Delgado protection.
But that's why you play the game, Dan. You know, things happen throughout the season. You know, guys get hot. Guys decide to have great years, you know, later in their careers. Greg Myers is getting more of an opportunity to play this year than he was given last year in Oakland. And he's responding, and he's doing a great job.
We're here at Skydome in Toronto, Wednesday Night Baseball on ESPN2. Veritek can't find it, but fortunately for the Red Sox, it doesn't squirt too far away.
Veritek's really good defensively, and the confidence. See, when you have a catcher like Veritek, where the guys really believe in his defensive capabilities, see, Derek Lowe feels like he can throw a changeup low, knowing that Veritek will block it. But if he has a catcher that he doesn't have that kind of confidence in, he's not going to take a chance at throwing low.
Boy, he left that ball up, maybe even higher than Myers was looking for, and it's 1-2.
But what he's doing good here is he's pitching around the strike zone. I mean, he went with a ball low and away in the dirt, then he came back inside. So he's pitching around the strike zone, trying to change Greg Myers' eye level, you know, not letting him, you know, get zoned in on one particular area. Probably go with a sinker away, you know, here to change it again.
Outfielders play him a little bit to hit the ball the other way. There's a breaking ball down and away, 2-2.
Right, he went away, but he just tried the breaking ball. He's just gonna mix it up on him. You know, don't let him keep his eyes in one particular area of the strike zone.
A 40 save guy a few years back for the Red Sox. He has made a very successful transition to the rotation. Won 21 games last year and started the All-Star game. 2-2. Ooh, he went looking for the inside corner, and he did not miss by much.
And see, that is something that Derek Lowe has been doing. He gets guys looking out of the plate, then he sneaks them back inside. And Veritek did a great job of trying to frame this pitch. You know, but it was inside a little bit, but that's a great job of framing. And see, when you have a catcher with tremendous defensive capabilities like Veritek, a lot of times you can fool that home plate umpire and get that call, but not that time.
Now the count has gone full on Myers. Second and third, one out. And a chopper will get a run home. Sanchez, the shortstop, pulls Millar off the bag. Everybody's safe as the Blue Jays take a 4-3 lead, which they would have anyway, but it's first and third, one out.
And this was a good pitch by Derek Lowe. He did a great job of pitching to Greg Myers. In and out, got him to really reach for a ball. But here's the situation where Sanchez, you know, I guess, you know, not knowing the speed of the runner, he had plenty of time to really set his feet and make a more accurate play.
Charitably scored as a base hit, David.
Yeah, he fielded this ball as if it was Orlando Hudson or someone fleet of foot running down there. He had more time to set himself.
So an RBI single for Myers. He's at first. Delgado's at third. Catalinato scored on the play. And here is Hinske to chase a ball in the dirt. Hinske's 0 for 2.
And Hinske's just trying to work himself back. I mean, Derek Lowe has gotten him to chase a couple pitches out of the strike zone that he has put into play. But this kid has a lot of talent, has a good bat.
Here's the return on the Billy Koch trade a couple of years ago. Ground ball to second. There's one, and that's all. A fielder's choice and an RBI for Hinske as Delgado scores, and it is 5-3.
See, this is vintage Derek Lowe. Sinker away, and that's what he wants to get left-handed hitters to do. Reach out and roll over. He didn't hit it hard enough, so therefore there was no chance for a double play. But that is what Derek Lowe, that's his mission there, is to throw sinkers to get guys to roll over. And he gets it a lot.
Reed Johnson comes up at an RBI single in the first, grounded out in the fourth. Blue Jays with a couple of runs in here in the fifth to take a 5-3 lead. And a high chopper down to third. They'll go the short way, and they just do get Hinske at second base to end the inning. The Blue Jays score 2.
Thanks to available X-Ria sport suspension, windy roads struggle to make its way. The because of its standard 245 horsepower engine, tough terrain has difficulty slowing it down. And with so many safety and performance refinements, steep mountains often fail to hold it back. The all-new 4Runner. No other SUV has ever been on its terrain.
Excuse me. Dentine Ice. Intensely cold. For icy fresh breath that lasts and lasts. Dentine Ice. Nothing's colder than ice.
Time to get to work. It's Monday morning. If you haven't left yet,
Starbucks Double Shot Espresso drink is an invigorating blend of espresso and cream to help you take on your day.
To a child, playtime is a rehearsal for the real world they will inherit as adults. It's where they learn to be tolerant, to share, to communicate how they feel, to dream. Don't underestimate the power of play.
Love watching TV? Then Cox Digital Cable is your best choice with access to over 250 channels. Digital Cable also gives you an interactive program guide, parental control, and so much more. Cox Digital Cable has something for everyone from movies to music, education to sports. Plus, get free standard service on your additional TVs. Upgrade today and get a professional installation for only $4.95. Plus your first month of HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and the Movie Channel free. Call 623-594-1102.
ESPN2's Wednesday Night Baseball, brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling.
And we welcome you back to Skydome here in Toronto, where the Blue Jays cash in a couple in the bottom of the fifth, take a 5-3 lead on the Red Sox. David Ortiz will lead off inning number 6 against Kelvin Escobar. Ortiz has an RBI single, and he's also struck out in this game. You talked about how good things appear to be in the Red Sox clubhouse, how everybody's getting along. I've read a couple of stories recently from Minneapolis where the Twins, some of the players have apparently said that the loss of David Ortiz has hurt them not just on the field but in the clubhouse as well. He's another real outgoing, bubbly kind of a guy. And all of a sudden the Twins, who last year appeared to have unbelievable chemistry, are now saying that maybe things aren't as good as they once were.
Hey, and there is value in that. I mean, you talk about guys that spend more time with each other than with their families for a period of 6, 7, 8 months.
Goes after a high pitch from Escobar, and he skies one into left field for Shannon Stewart, one down. Let's go back to the last out of the bottom of the fifth. And Bill Miller at third knew he wouldn't have a play at first, so his only choice was to second. Great play and great call by the umpire.
Yeah, Terry Kraft puts himself in the best possible position to make that call, and it was a very close play, but he helped himself out by putting himself in position.
One out, nobody on for the Red Sox in the sixth, and the batter is Kevin Millar. He's 0 for 2. I guess it's the old chicken and egg thing between winning and chemistry. You're winning and all of a sudden everybody loves each other and they're best friends, or does chemistry actually help you win ball games?
Chemistry definitely helps you win ball clubs. When you have a team that pulls for each other, that plays as a unit, that's cohesive, you're going to win a lot of ball games, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You can't wait to get to the stadium just to see the guys. And I've been fortunate to play on a lot of winning teams, and I mean, just most recent, I can think of my day last year at Oakland. I mean, you couldn't wait to get to the stadium to see the guys. So chemistry is extremely important.
Millar takes down and in, 2-1.
I mean, everyone needs a hug at some point during the season. I mean, look at Nomar. I mean, even your best hitters fall into slumps. And during those times, you know, as a player, you need someone to talk to. And when you have a team that's very cohesive, that really gets along, you got a whole bunch of guys patting you on your back during the good times and the tough times.
Shallow left field. Stewart coming on, cannot get there. It'll drop in front of him for a bloop single for Millar.
And see, once again, that's another play where you have to really be cognizant of a ball bouncing over your head. And then also here in this Toronto Skydome, they have the lights that are very low. So a lot of that comes into play. As you see the lights when the ball is hit up there. As an outfielder, you have to think about the lights and the ball. There's a lot going on in such a short amount of time that you have to factor in.
Millar at first with a single, 1 out, and here's Johnny Damon. Just a little bit low for ball 1. Damon is 1 for 2. His single, stolen a base, and scored a run here tonight. A 5-3 lead for the Blue Jays in the 6th inning, trying to even up the series at a win apiece. They figured their best chance to win was last night when Roy Halladay was on the mound, and he was brilliant for 9 innings, but the Red Sox won it in 12. Todd Jones got the win. Young Hyun Kim got the save. Jason Varitek with the game-winning RBI. Varitek hit another RBI single in this game on the day he found out he's going to the All-Star game for the first time. There's a strike, 2-1. Escobar was really on the ropes early, got a couple of big double plays, sailed through the 3rd and 4th, got out of a jam in the 5th, and now working here into the 6th. Not a high pitch count and not an especially hot night. And there is no throwing in the bullpen, but a little bit of stirring down there right now as he falls behind 3-1 on Johnny Damon. Left-hander Jason Kirshner looks like he's waiting for the phone to ring.
Yeah, but this is at the time of the game where all your middle relievers start to move around. You know, they have their own, schedule down there, or their own routine down there. When they start moving around and getting themselves and getting those legs warmed up and, stretching their backs and things of that sort. See, as you see,
got it right.
Yeah, I mean, this is that time, This is when they got to start clocking in to work.
Nobody has to tell them, huh? They just know. There's a line on Escobar tonight.
And so you can't see it right now, but there's also guys that your role players, your pinch hitters, they're in the clubhouse getting stretched too, in case they may have to pinch hit.
Ground ball down to 3rd. Fair, backhanded by Hinsky. Long throw to get the fleet Johnny Damon by his step. We're out number 2. Millar into 2nd on the play.
This is a nice play by Hinsky. He's not really playing on the line. He attacks it, but he makes such a strong throw. He has a very good arm. And he makes a strong throw, very accurate, able to get the fleet-footed Johnny Damon, who's always going hard down the first base line.
Big play by Hinsky for the 2nd out of the inning. Myers to the mound to talk to Escobar, and now it'll be Varitek. Can he come up with another clutch base hit and get the Red Sox a little bit closer?
Here's the situation. They're going to pitch him carefully because you have Freddie Sanchez coming up. Doesn't get much playing time. Not seeing the ball as well as Varitek is, who's been pretty hot. So they're going to pitch him carefully.
Remember, Nomar Garciaparra is on the bench tonight. Sanchez starting for him. Grady Little wanting to give Nomar a night off, but you'd think at some point, maybe not this inning, but at some point if they needed a pinch hitter, you can bring a pretty good guy off the bench in Garciaparra, and Sanchez obviously would be the likely guy that would leave the game in that situation.
Yeah, but you're not going to pinch hit Nomar unless the game is on the line. This would be way too early to pinch hit someone like him. You got to wait till the game is on the line where he can, maybe a home run can put you ahead or tie a ball game.
But even if they get 2 guys on here with 2 outs, still too early?
I still think it would be too early. Because then you're talking about him pitch hitting for Trot Nixon or Bill Miller or somebody. Well, if he walks Varitek here, I just don't, because with 2 outs, I just don't think, I really believe that Grady Little sees this as an off day for him. And, because of his recent struggles, just want him to take time, just relax a little bit, mentally, rest. Not to feel like he has to be ready to hit right now.
There's ball 4. 1st and 2nd, 2 down. Back to Pam and Rob in the studio.
Checking in now on the Dodgers and the Cardinals. It's 6-1 in favor of Los Angeles. How about some defense? Mike Matheny thinks he has a base hit, but Chad Hermanson thinks otherwise.
Yeah, he was once thought to be one of the best prospects in the Pirates organization. Couldn't hit over there, but he can play some defense.
The Dodgers with some offense. They have 6 runs and lead it by 4.
Now, Pam and Rob, the Dodgers hoping to get some play out of their call-ups like Chad Hermanson and Wilkin Ruan, David Ross. We saw a little bit earlier, guys who have come up for some of the injured players. Here's Freddie Sanchez, the young shortstop, up at a key spot. 2 on, 2 out. Red Sox down by 2 in the 6th inning.
See, you know, just revisiting, talking about Nomar and possibly pinch hitting. Sometimes a manager will tell a player, there's no chance that you're getting in this game, even if it's a game-winning situation. I want you to sit back and relax and give you a mental day off, because this game is so mental. You can get fried. So sometimes a manager will tell you, you have no chance of getting in the game. So only you keep your gym shoes on.
1-1 the count. Now, if you got a day off and then you were asked to come up late in the game against a tough pitcher, key situation, you're not used to pinch hitting because you're always used to being in there. So for a David Justice or a Nomar Garciaparra, is pinch hitting an especially difficult thing to do?
Yeah, I've always had the utmost respect for guys who pinch hit. It's the toughest gig going, I think, in the game. Because you're facing tough pitchers, Mariano Rivera, Eric Gagne. It's always like the 8th or 9th inning. And, you know, it's tough enough to hit, you know, getting 4 at-bats. But getting up there as a pinch hitter, I'm amazed at what Lenny Harris and I know with Atlanta we had a guy, Dwight Smith, one year who did a great job for us, but I've always been amazed at how they do it.
Swing and a miss, and Escobar pretty pumped as he gets Sanchez. Gary Sheffield and the Atlanta Braves taking on the Chicago Cubs Sunday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. It is Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Nextel, also available in ESPN's new high-definition service. Sheffield, one of 7 All-Stars on that Atlanta team. He's going to start the game, as will Marcus Giles, as will Javi Lopez. What a season he is having. The Cubs represented by a couple of starting pitchers, Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood. Orlando Hudson leads off the bottom of the 6th for the Blue Jays, who lead the Red Sox 5-3. Hudson has struck out and walked in this game. He's the number 8 hitter in the lineup. He'll be followed by Chris Woodward, and then back to the top of the order for Shannon Stewart. With these two teams, given how talented they are offensively and given the problems they've had in their bullpens, although Boston's seems to be getting better, this is one of these situations where it's not a cliche to say no lead is safe. You just keep going and get as many runs as you possibly can, because you never know what might happen in the late innings.
Well, you're right. These are two teams that have always played until the final out. That's one thing that you can say about Boston and Toronto.
The roller out to Sanchez in short. Good throw. Straight on the money to first, and Hudson is out 1 down. Although things have not gone particularly well for Derek Lowe so far in this game, the moment they acquired Lowe has to be one of the high points in recent memory for the Red Sox and their fans. The Mariners, as we all recall, a few years back had a great team. They had everything but a quality closer, and they kept looking at different guys, and they wanted Heathcliff Slocum so badly they traded Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek to the Red Sox. Lowe was an all-star last year. Varitek is an all-star this year.
That's a great trade made by Boston.
2 for 1, and each of the 2 turns out to do significantly more than the 1 did on the other end. But it'll happen. I mean, you go for a veteran guy who's got a track record like Slocum did at the time, and you roll the dice a little bit on young kids like Lowe and Varitek were at the time.
Well, there's a risk in every trade from both sides, and you know, you never know who gets the better deal, you know, until now in that particular trade. But I know Boston is happy to have these 2, and I don't think Heathcliff is even pitching anymore.
It's been a while. 3-1 the count on Woodward. Swing and a miss, full count. That's a good nasty sinker from Derek Lowe right there.
Yeah, when he keeps it down around the lower part of that thigh, down to knee level, he has some of the best sink of any pitcher, a la, you know, Kevin Brown. Great sinkers.
Got that one down as well. Woodward with a chopper to the left side. Miller back to his feet. But Woodward is safe. It'll skip away. Woodward will be content with a base hit. And Miller walking a little bit gingerly as he gets back up to his feet.
Well, that turf can be pretty hard. But it was a great attempt. I almost had a short hop on him. Gets to his feet as quick as he can, but Woodward has really good speed. And that's pretty much the best he could do on that particular play.
like the right arm and maybe the left knee getting the worst of it for Miller down at third base. Woodward, a one-out base hit, and back to the top of the order for Shannon Stewart, who is 0 for 3. Down to third for the Signs. The Blue Jays are, as we mentioned, not a team that does a whole lot of tricky stuff. It's basically wait for your pitch and then swing as hard as you can.
And you know, it is very surprising that they don't do more hitting and running and stealing bases, because they have guys that have speed. I mean, Woodward has some speed. Shannon Stewart has speed. Vernon Wells has speed. Orlando Hudson. They have guys that can run.
They just believe, as some people who study the game statistically do, that playing one base at a time or playing for one run in an inning is counterproductive. It's just not a smart way to play baseball, and that's why they don't bunt, they don't run. They had what for any other team in baseball would have been an obvious bunt situation last night in the 9th inning, and they passed up the opportunity. Delgado had reached in a tie game, 1-1, bottom of the 9th, Delgado aboard, and Tom Wilson, the catcher, comes up. You're the home team. Bunt him over to second, right, and hope for the base hit that brings in the winning run. But Wilson was allowed to swing away, bounced into a double play. The game went extra innings, and the Red Sox went on to win it.
And just like you probably feel the same way I feel, and this is hindsight is always 20/20, you know. But you know, managers have different ways of managing their ball club. But there are some teams that will build their whole team around speed, and they'll utilize it.
Pitch out. The Red Sox think the Blue Jays might be running. Nothing going on, and now at 2-1 with Woodward with a good speed and Stewart a good contact hitter. Maybe a hit and run is more likely with the count right here.
Well, this is a good pitch to do it. You know it won't be a pitch out again. And as you said, Stewart is a great contact hitter, and a great hitter all around. So at least a hit and run gets something going.
Got a hole on the right side. Woodward is going, and the pitch is bounced down to third. Tough play for Miller. He's got it, and on the run makes a great throw to first base to get Stewart. Boy, what a quality play by Bill Miller.
And this was a tough play. But when they made the trade and sent Shea Hillenbrand, I mean, Bill Miller has been doing this all season for them. But this is a very tough play. I mean, a short hop on the dirt where it could take, where that second hop could be more tricky. But he attacked this. I mean, it's almost like a do-or-die play. If he misses this is in the left field, and runners are everywhere.
I think you make a great point. He attacked the ball. A lot of guys will lay back a little bit, play it safe, and with Stewart's speed, they probably would not have gotten him if he laid back.
But see, Bill Miller knows Shannon Stewart's speed. He only had one play, and that was the play. Because if he stays back and plays the next hop, he has no chance of getting Shannon Stewart down at first base.
And Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, back to the mound to talk to Derek Lowe to try to figure out what they're going to do with Frank Catalanato, who's already 3 for 3 in this game. And also to buy a little bit of time for left-hander Alan Embry. Now they're trying to get Embry ready for this hitter. They're just trying to get him enough time in case Carlos Delgado comes up this inning.
Well, more likely he'll pitch to Catalanato, and they'll get him ready for Delgado if Delgado comes to the plate.
Vernon Wells in between them, a right-handed batter, as Grady Little considers his options. By the way, these two managers, Little and Carlos Tosca, 2 of only 4 current managers in the major leagues who did not play in the major leagues.
But they have a lot of experience, you know, been around the game. They've learned a lot from watching and from being around quality baseball people. I know Grady came up. I remember Grady when I was in the minor leagues, being part of the Atlanta Braves organization, actually. But a lot of baseball knowledge with Grady Little.
A lot of years managing in the minors for both of them major league bench coaches. Jack McKee and Buck Showalter, by the way, the other 2 managers who did not play in the majors. Runner at second, 2 down, and Catalanato hits a high fly ball to deep right center field. This is trouble, and it's gone off the top of the wall, and it bounces out. Catalanato's 4th hit of the game is a home run, and Toronto takes a 7-3 lead.
Catalanato got him a breaking ball This is a hanging breaking ball right over the middle of the plate. And coming into this at bat, he was already 3 for 3, so he was seeing Derek, and Derek Lowe realizes that he made a mistake with that pitch. Didn't get the breaking ball in enough. Left the middle in, and he was able to get the fat part to it. A nice swing by Catalinato.
Now Vernon Wells. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. A 4 for 4 night for Frank Catalinato. The third time this season he's had a 4-hit game. And the Blue Jays now with a 4-run lead in the 6th inning off Derek Lowe and the Red Sox. 1-1 on Vernon Wells, who's 1 for 3 tonight. You've got in Frank Catalinato and Bill Miller, the two players that we're looking at here tonight, two great number 2 hitters, guys who hit line drives all over the ballpark and really spray it around, don't strike out very much. They're not real speedsters, but as the number 2 hitter, the way they can handle the bat is much more important than their speed.
And it's so important for them to be productive because they're table setters as well as guys who you use for hitting and running. And they set the table for the big guys that come behind them. And when you have Manny Ramirez coming to the plate or you have Delgado coming to the plate, you know, you want guys out there on those bases. So when they double or hit a home run, you know, it's not just a solo homer.
I think they're guys who are underappreciated in general and maybe much more valuable to a good team than they would be to a last place kind of team. I mean, they're the difference between winning and losing a whole lot of ball games.
Right. They're part of the piece. I mean, a team is built with pieces, you know, speed, pitching, defense.
Foul ball. One more look at the Catalinato home run. He got just enough of it to get it out as it hits the top of the wall and bangs around like it's in a pinball machine as it hits on the bottom of the facing of the outfield deck.
And he ran the bases like he hit it 490. See, as long as it goes over there, that's all that matters.
That's right. Line drive to center. Damon started in. Now goes back and makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Catalinato's 4th hit of the game is a homer, and it's a 4-run lead for the Blue Jays.
Imagine cruising in your brand new Kia Spectra. You got the tunes cranked, the controls at your fingertips, and cash in your pocket. And with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, you're not worried about a thing. Just driving and taking in that new car smell. You know, the real kind. Not that stuff that comes in a bottle. The Kia Spectra, loaded with features for thousands less than a Civic. Imagine that. Now get the Kia Spectra starting at $9,235 after $3,000 cash back.
We ride together.
Go, go!
We die together. Bad boys for life.
What you gonna do when we come for you? Rated R. In theaters everywhere, July 18th.
You know, Dave?
Yeah, I've admit.
This new Market Fresh 5-Star Club is so good. It's the kind of sandwich my parents would have loved. I was adopted, Dave.
Introducing Arby's new Market Fresh 5-Star Club. Oven roasted turkey and ham plus 2 cheeses on new Harvest White bread. Try Arby's new Market Fresh 5-Star Club.
What are you eating today?
I always stay at Motel 6 because they have the lowest price of any national chain. And they welcome my dog. He likes that so much. He insists on paying.
We'll leave the light on for you in Accor Hotel.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, man?
Well?
Well, what?
Forget it. What's the matter? I can't believe I changed my hair and you guys don't even notice.
You're not a woman. Why use a woman's gel? Try new Suave for Man. Holds as good as her brand for less.
When you want a battery that keeps going, and going, and going, and going. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
Got the bunny inside.
A 4-run lead for the Blue Jays going to the 7th. Starter Kelvin Escobar still in the game for Toronto as Trot Nixon comes up. Blue Jays broke a tie with 2 in the 5th, got 2 more in the 6th. As they try to even up the series at a win apiece, Nixon and has had a very solid night with a double, a single, and a walk. As you said earlier, at some point Johnny Damon's going to be back in that leadoff spot, but Trot Nixon trying to fill in until Grady Little decides to elevate Damon back up to number 1.
Well, ideally they want Johnny Damon in the leadoff spot because his ability to steal bases. I mean, he's the type of guy who can steal second and third for you. But Trot Nixon in the past has led off, so it's not something that's new to him. So they're just trying something different with the lineup right now, taking a little bit of pressure off of Johnny Damon.
2-1 as Escobar goes with a changeup and misses down and away. Escobar 5-5 on the season. This is his 11th start. He's also made 15 relief appearances. And like Derek Lowe, a closer who's now back as a starter. After Nixon, it'll be Miller and then Walker, the top third of the Boston lineup here in the 7th inning. And the 2-2 pitch, he got him. Boy, he located the ball as well there as he did in any at-bat of the night. He strikes out Nixon. As we go back to the bottom of the 6th and look at the Frank Catalanato home run again. Lowe is known for his sinker. That looked like a hanging breaking ball right there that Catalanato got all of. And there's Lowe talking to Veritek saying, it's just spinning up there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just not controlling it. I mean, he knows what he wants to do, just didn't execute at that in a particular time, and you know, it hurt him.
Right-hander Chad Fox is up now in the Red Sox pen. Well, you got to mix it up, especially when you're a starter, but to get beat with something other than your best pitch, you hear about how that has to be particularly frustrating to a pitcher. The sinker is Derek Lowe's best pitch, but he's got to mix it up. You can't throw your best pitch over and over again.
But he has a pretty tight slider as well. It's just that he didn't execute on that particular pitch, and unfortunately for him, it was hit out the ballpark. I mean, sometimes a guy foul it off, or sometimes a guy will even take it. You know, where the pitcher's like, ooh, I just got away with one. But Catalanato didn't, you know, he didn't take it.
The line on Derek Lowe, we talked about it at the beginning of the game, whether it's coincidence or not. A sinker ball guy gets a lot of ground balls. He has struggled time and time again on artificial turf, whether it's Toronto, whether it's Minnesota. I don't know that that's so much the case here tonight. You know, ground balls that got through because of turf. I mean, when they got their hits off them, they were pretty legitimate hits.
And you never know if it played, you know, in his mindset mentally, knowing how tough it has been for him playing or pitching, you know, in stadiums where there's AstroTurf. You don't know. But tonight he just wasn't, you know, his consistent self. That's all. I mean, just a tough night for him. And it happens as long as you play this game, as long as you pitch, as long as you hit, you're going to have your tough nights. And with this Toronto team,
Miller lines one to center, 2 down.
With this Toronto team, I mean, you can't leave too many balls around the middle of the plate, or they're going to really put it on you. And the same goes with the Boston Ball Club. I mean, these guys, if you're not pitching on the corner and mixing it up well, they're going to put a lot of runs on you.
Well, that's why whether you're a Blue Jay fan, Red Sox fan, whatever, this game is not over. The Blue Jays in the last 2 weeks have surrendered 8 runs in the 8th and 7 runs in the 8th to lose games that seemingly were in the bag. And the Red Sox, the best offensive team in baseball this year, so you know they can mount a comeback.
And they will try. I mean, this is a team that doesn't lay down, just like Toronto. I mean, these two teams, they play till that last out.
Todd Walker, the batter, a ball and a strike. All's quiet out in the Blue Jay bullpen. They were stirring a little bit last inning. And you know, ideally, Carlos Tosca does not want to go too far with Kelvin Escobar because he's bringing him back on 3 days rest on Sunday. Well, he is throwing as well right now as he has at any point of the ballgame.
Well, he's doing a great job of mixing up his pitches. I mean, you look at his changeup. I mean, he's throwing it for strikes. He's throwing it fast. He's throwing it. Actually, it's gone to a 2-seam sinker. It's breaking down and away. That's what he got Trot Nixon with.
Tapper to the left side, charged by Hinsky. Big bounce, throw in time, inning over. 7th inning stretch in Toronto, 7-3 Blue Jays. We'll come back and take a look at some of the longest home runs that have ever been hit in this ballpark.
Hundreds of the world's best outdoor athletes. great run. 23 outdoor events. Watch the 2003 Great Outdoor Games, presented by Dodge. Brought to you by Reno Tahoe, America's Adventure Place. July 19th through the 22nd.
Am I a player? Tonight? Definitely.
Sure, I've got rules. I left them at home.
There's something about this place that really gets me hot.
Sir, I detect the presence of alcohol. Have you been drinking this evening?
Not really.
One or two.
Just a few.
Step out of the car, sir. Step out of the car. Step out of the car, please.
Across Arizona, cops are cracking down. No matter where you drive, if you drive impaired, you will be arrested. In Arizona,
You drink, you drive, you lose.
Back at Skydome, a 7-3 lead for the Blue Jays over the Red Sox. Dan Schulman and David Justice with you. In the 15-year history of Skydome, there have been 10 balls hit into the 500 level, the fifth deck. That's Jose Canseco in the playoffs back in 1989 off Mike Flanagan hitting the first one up there. A couple of years ago, Manny Ramirez hit what, for what it's worth, is recorded as the longest ever home run hit here at Skydome, 491 feet. He hit that off Chris Carpenter back in 2001. Carlos Delgado has one home run into the upper deck. He did that off Andy Pettit back in 1998. I think he knew he got all of it. And you can see where the people are rising about 2 sections over from the foul pole. That's Delgado's only shot into the upper deck. Jose Canseco, by the way, has hit 3 of the 10 balls into the 500 level. He hit 1 as a Blue Jay. He hit 2 against the Blue Jays. The other ones belong to Mark McGuire, Joe Carter, Sean Green, Raul Mondesi, and Josh Phelps. Notably absent from the list is David Justice.
If they let me stand at second base, I bet I'd give them a run for their money. Just let me hit from second base.
Here's Chad Fox. But you hit some in this part. Just not quite up there.
Like I said, I'm the king of the first row.
But that's all that matters.
If you were a fan and said you caught my ball, I bet you was sitting in the first row.
You were sitting pretty close, huh?
First row.
But that doesn't matter. They don't measure distance, right? As long as they get out.
Exactly.
Delgado tonight is 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single. He scored twice and driven in a run. 1 and 2. There are other balls that have been hit here that some people believe were hit further than the ones that went into the fifth deck, and those are balls that are hit to straightaway center field off what's known as the Windows Restaurant. I mean, the whole thing's an extremely inexact science, obviously, in terms of how far the ball is going. But it's 70 feet further to the wall in center than it is down the lines. And some guys have hit him off the glass there. Some have hit him off that top sloped pane of glass above the Windows Restaurant. There you go. Off there, and then they've bounced back down.
I witnessed one. Manny Ramirez hit one off Pat Hinkin.
Really?
After Pat Hinkin threw him a fastball up and in, he threw him a slider. Manny hit it off the facing. So to come back toward the infield.
Strike 3 called. Delgado might have thought it was high. Yes, he did.
He went with the breaking ball here. That Delgado obviously thought it was up. And Veritek does a great job of framing pitches and brought it down. I mean, it may have been at the top of the strike zone, but the way Delgado's seeing the ball nowadays, I would tend to side with him.
Rick Myers takes it outside ball 1. That's like if a Wade Boggs or a Tony Gwynn or a Ted Williams, if they let the ball go by, you just assume that it wasn't a strike. Otherwise, why would you? They let it go by. Little check swing tapper for Veritek, the catcher, and he'll throw out Myers, 2 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. MLB.com has the widest selection of items for the team you love. Shop MLB.com, the official site of wearing your heart in your sleeve, cap, pullover, and lots more. MLB.com. 2 outs and nobody on for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th, leading the Red Sox 7-3. That's an old style official Blue Jays logo right there. There's Eric Hinske to take it outside, ball 1. That's even an older one. That's original Blue Jays stuff. That's late 70s right there. I got some of those in the closet. 1-1 on Hinske. See, now it's different. Couldn't check the swing. 1-2. Lots of offense early, settled down in the middle innings, and then the Blue Jays got to work again against Lowe, who gave up 7 earned runs in 6 innings here tonight. Hinske pulls it just foul. And now Tanyan Sturtz, who was in the rotation back at the beginning of the season, is up and throwing in the Blue Jay bullpen. So Calvin Escobar looks like he's going to finish on an up note, getting the Red Sox in order in the 7th, but they'll turn it over to the pen with a 4-run lead. Hope that's enough. Save Escobar's pitch count for that start on 3 days rest on Sunday against the Yankees.
Well, he really settled down, after that 2nd inning, and made some quality pitches. But they understand how important it is for them to play well these next 13 games.
All of them against the Red Sox and the Yankees. Just a little bit high. Things turned out pretty well for Calvin Escobar, wouldn't you say, given the way they started? I don't know that we honestly could have expected him to do this, given the way the first inning went tonight.
Yeah, it could have very easily gotten away from him.
He got 2 huge double play balls, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd.
And 2, would love to have been in on that conversation with the pitching coach.
Yeah. He'd already given up 2 runs in the 1st when he got one around the horn. Then after the Blue Jays got in the lead, he gave up a run in the 2nd and then got a 4-6-3 double play.
So he was able to make the necessary pitch in order.
Hinske gone, Blue Jays gone. We'll go to the 8th, a 4-run game.
Madam?
Are those chicken nuggets all white meat?
Ah, the age-old question. We believe there's so much more to the chicken than white meat. There's a smorgasbord of colors and textures, and our nuggets represent the full, rich mosaic of chickenness.
At Wendy's, our chicken nuggets are delicious pieces of all white meat cooked golden brown. It's the best 99 cents you can spend.
So they're not white meat?
No.
The 99-cent super value menu at Wendy's. It's better here. And our pickup window's open till midnight or later, so you can eat great even late.
How can a person using a walkie-talkie in Los Angeles instantly contact another in New York? Homing pigeons, flocks of our feathered friends, tirelessly flying from one coast to the other, outfitted with leg band transmitters and tracked from rooftop data centers to create an airborne network that makes transcontinental walkie-talkie signals possible.
No, that's not how we did it. Introducing Nextel's coast-to-coast walkie-talkie. Now that's a walkie-talkie.
When you hit the brakes, a whole lot of things have to go just right. It's the same with brake repair. That's why you can count on Midas, America's trusted leader in brakes. Right now, get $20 instant savings on any brake service from Midas, even on Midas's famous lifetime brake pads and shoes, the last set of pads or shoes you'll ever buy. That's $20 instant savings right now from the auto service experts, Midas.
A Major League Baseball clubhouse store presents the 2003 All-Star Workout Day jersey. Show support for your league and wear the jersey your favorite All-Star will be wearing in Chicago. Bonds, Ichiro, Pujols, Soriano, A-Rod, and more. These new jerseys are made for ultimate performance and comfort. Order your Workout Day jersey for just $129.95. Call now, 866-MLB-2003.
ESPN2's Wednesday Night Baseball, brought to you by Wendy's Crispy Chicken Nuggets. It's better here.
As we settle in tonight here in Toronto with the roof wide open at Skydome, a 7-3 lead for the Blue Jays over the Red Sox. A look up at the CN Tower here down by Lake Ontario. A new pitcher in for the Blue Jays, a former starter, now turned reliever this year as he struggled as a starter. Right-hander Tanyan Sturtz out of the pen in the 8th inning to face Manny Ramirez, and these two have a little bit of history, sports fans. Ramirez has hit 5 home runs off Tanyan Sturtz, and Sturtz has responded the usual way that pitchers do when these kinds of things happen. Not that way. Last year, as a member of the Devil Rays, Sturtz hit Manny Ramirez. Earlier this year with the Blue Jays, Sturtz hit Ramirez again, and Ramirez lifted 2 fingers up to him and said, "That's twice you've hit me," and the bench is empty, although no punches were thrown. So there's no love lost between Tanyan Sturtz and Manny Ramirez. Outside, a ball and a strike. Ramirez tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. Sturtz last year with Tampa Bay 4-18. The Blue Jays have tried to pick up some relatively inexpensive pitchers and plug them in at the back of the rotation or in the middle of the bullpen. And now they have Juan Acevedo, who was released by the Yankees. They picked up Scott Service. They've got Sturtz, Jeff Tam, guys who have been around a while but don't cost a whole lot of money. Bullpen activity. Left-hander is Trevor Miller. The right-hander is a Rule 5 pickup, a rookie, Aquilino Lopez, who has been a really nice surprise for the Blue Jays this year. Uh-oh. Did he get him again? Is it career home run number 6? It is. Another pinball shot off the top of the wall, and it leaves the ballpark. And Manny Ramirez now has 6 career home runs off Tanyan Sturtz as the Red Sox are back within 3 at 7-4.
Manny has always had, and how it has been for so long, so patient at the plate. I mean, these are tough pitches he's laying off of, but he's in the power position, and then he just throws his hands, and he has so much power to all parts of the field.
Top of the wall, bottom of the lower deck, just like Catalanato's home run. And Ramirez does it again against Tanyan Sturtz. 6 home runs and 12 hits in 34 at-bats against Sturtz. Big swing and a miss by David Ortiz. And I think to the credit of Ramirez, knowing the history, he just ran the bases. There was no showboating. There was no glaring. He just ran the bases and got back in the dugout.
Yeah, and I guess Tanyan Sturtz probably thought by buzzing him it was going to intimidate him, but that didn't work either.
So what's plan C? Because A and B haven't worked against Manny Ramirez.
Plan C is don't even answer the phone when they call down there. Act like it's broken.
Number 21 on the season for Ramirez. Now the Blue Jay lead is down to 3. And the bullpen has been a real adventure. Remember, Escobar was their closer. He's now in the rotation. Then Cliff Polite became the closer. He's now on the DL with a sore shoulder.
And the bullpen is pretty much the question mark for both these teams. They got the whole second half to try to get it right, but it's going to be very important for both teams to get better in their bullpens.
2-2. The Red Sox seem a little bit further along that road right now. Chad Fox has gotten healthy. Young-Hyun Kim has gone into the bullpen as the closer. Alan Embry is throwing harder now than he did at the beginning of the season. Todd Jones has gotten picked up. I love the stories about Kim, about how he sleeps like 14 hours a day, and they have to wake him up in the 6th inning and send him down to the bullpen because he might be needed. You say Manny Ramirez is a laid-back guy. Young-Hyun Kim might be even more relaxed.
Manny's laid back, but Manny puts in his work. I mean, Manny's one of the first guys at the stadium every day.
Here's Brandon Lyon, a former member of the Blue Jays, who was the closer for the Red Sox until Kim took over down there. Good job by Ortiz. Sturtz was out in front 0-2, and Ortiz draws the walk. The Blue Jays working with a committee right now. The Red Sox had been working with a bullpen by committee. That was the big thing they talked about on and on at the beginning of the season. Right now, Kim is the closer, but it was Lyon, and they've had 7 different pitchers save at least 1 ball game for them this season.
And Brandon Lyon did a pretty good job. I mean, he saved 9 out of 11. opportunities. Well, you're right. Chad Fox saved 3 games. You had Timlin saved a couple games.
Kevin Millar lifts the ball foul down the right field line.
But I think they feel with Kim saving now with the experience, you know, pitching and closing with Arizona and their World Series run, that now they can use Brandon Lyon and Mike Timlin in the 6th and 7th and 8th inning, and it handed over to him nicely for the 9th inning. So they like the way that it's lining up now in their bullpen.
1-1 on Millar. The Blue Jays, meantime, don't have established roles because they don't really have pitchers who are that established. Lopez is a rookie. A lot of these guys that they have been released.
Kind of looking for someone to step forward.
Yeah. Shot into right field, a base hit for Millar. Ortiz to second, and Sturtz has not retired any of the 3 hitters that he's faced. And you know Carlos Tosca is itching to make a move, and here he comes. Sturtz is going to get pulled as the crowd expresses its dissatisfaction with Tanyan Sturtz. And with left-hand hitting Johnny Damon coming up, the left-hander Trevor Miller no doubt will be coming in. And I told you before, no lead is safe with these bullpens and these offenses. Red Sox threatening.
You want the best values in America? Well, they're here now at the Dodge Summer Sales Drive,
where you'll find our best products.
Like the powerful Ram 1500 with an available 5.7-liter Heavy. And our best deals. Get a $2,500 cash allowance or 0% APR financing for up to 60 months on Ram.
All with Dodge's 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Let us prove we got the best values in America. Hurry to your Dodge dealer today.
With Club Ramada's twice as nice promotion, you earn free nights and miles at the same time. So check in and take off. Club Ramada's twice as nice. One more reason. No, make that 2. Why Ramada's a very good place to be.
Michelle Annabeth Flaherty, will you marry me?
Yes.
There are some moments you want to last forever, and some
you get to have a bachelor party.
This is awesome!
You can never forget. The gang from American Pie invites you
That's not what it looks like. Back away from the animal.
to an American wedding.
The longer a marriage lasts, the longer you can go without sex.
Rated R. At theaters August 1st.
Excuse me.
Dentine Ice. Intensely cold. For icy fresh breath that lasts and lasts. Dentine Ice. Nothing's colder than ice.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you got to go talk to your doctor.
See your doctor and find out if Viagra's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
My dad taught me 2 simple rules about car care. To take care of the engine, change the oil. To take care of the fuel system, add STP. When your dad is Richard Petty, you tend to listen.
Back here in Toronto, where suddenly the Blue Jay lead doesn't seem quite so safe. A home run by Manny Ramirez, a walk to David Ortiz, a single by Kevin Millar, and here's Johnny Damon to face Trevor Miller. And Miller's in with a strike. His 48th appearance of the season. Miller is holding left-handers to a batting average of 194. So he's probably in just to face this one hitter in Johnny Damon, a switch hitter in Jason Varitek out on deck. Damon represents the game's tying run.
And Damon has scuffled this year against lefties. If you look at the years in which he's had very productive seasons in terms of batting averages, have been years in which he's hit well against lefties. This year a 236 clip, whereas in 99 and 2000 he had a 307 and 327 respectively. So
down to third. Hinske can't find it, and everybody's safe. He had an easy 1 and a probable 2, and he didn't get anybody as the ball kicked away from him, hit the bag, and just kept on bouncing.
And he was going to try to make the great play. You could see it developing right in front of him. He wanted to catch it real quick, step on third base. See, he knows the speed of Johnny Damon. He knows this play has got to develop quickly. He wants to catch it, tag third real quick, and throw the first. But he took his head away from the glove too soon and caused it to pop out. Never really got a hold of it.
An error on Hinsky has loaded the bases with nobody out, and Miller's going to stay and face Varitek, who is now batting from his strong side. And he takes it inside, ball one. Varitek hitting .298 on the season against lefties, hitting .342. Carlos Tosca ran through a bunch of relievers, 5 of them in last night's game. 1-0 and a fly ball left field, pretty well hit in the alley and past Stewart. It's a ground rule double for Varitek, and it brings in a couple as the Red Sox get back within 1.
And this was a huge break for the Blue Jays because Johnny Damon read this play immediately and knew this ball was over Shannon Stewart's head. He would have scored easily on this play. And see, this is a situation. You see the swing, nice swing from Varitek. Try to make him hit on his right side because they've been successful tonight from the left side, thinking maybe if I turn him around, maybe he's not, feeling comfortable from the right side.
Nomar Garciaparra is going to enter this game. Aquilino Lopez will be the Blue Jay pitcher when we come back.
Watch the WNBA All-Star Game, Saturday, July 12th on ABC.
Champions ride Hondas. Now and in the future. Honda XRs. They're a head start.
The pitch to Manny. Foul behind first base. And Vince Carter's got a souvenir.
The ESPY Awards, celebrating our love of sports. July 16th at 9 p.m. Presented by GMC.
Beg, borrow, and deal. Carrie's coming on too strong.
These people are horrible.
Harry can be a little too aggressive.
And Eric's just plain bugging.
I don't want to jeopardize the task because I'm fighting with Eric.
Beg, borrow, and deal 2, 8 Eastern, Tuesday on ESPN.
It's Summer Drive at your GMC dealer, and we're exceeding your expectations with 0% APR for 60 months on every 2003 GMC Envoy and Envoy XL. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. Get 0% APR for 60 months for qualified buyers on all 2003 GMC Envoys. Upgrade to professional grade. For the best selection of 2003s, see the pros at your local GMC dealers.
Baum Sporting Goods is the largest baseball and softball specialty store in the western U.S. Get fitted for the right bat, glove, shoes, and uniform, and then get the feel of your new bat in Baum's indoor hitting area. Baum's carries all the names you know, including a full line of Under Armour performance apparel. Did you know Baum's is the #1 Little League supplier in Arizona? Team, package, and coach discounts help you outfit your team in style. And Baum's has the equipment and apparel you need already in stock. Baum's Sporting Goods in Phoenix and Tempe. For baseball and softball, it's the only place to go.
Well, look who's coming into the game. Back in the 6th inning, we talked about a possible pinch hitting spot, and David, you said be patient, be patient. There will be a better spot, and this is a better spot as Nomar Garciaparra comes out to pinch hit for Freddie Sanchez. Rule 5 right-hander. Rookie right-hander Aquilino Lopez comes into the game. Better than a strikeout per inning, and he struck out Nomar last night on 3 pitches, all of them sliders. Damian Jackson has come on to pinch run for Jason Varitek, who just drove in 2 with a double. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And it is 7-6. And the fastball upstairs to Garciaparra. This inning began with a home run by Manny Ramirez off Tanyan Sturtz. Then Sturtz walked David Ortiz, then a base hit by Kevin Millar. Trevor Miller came on. An error on Eric Hinsky loaded the bases, and Jason Varitek doubled home 2 runs.
And they're conceding a run here. Blue Jays are not playing the infield in. So basically they're saying we'll give you the run here, and they're really more focused on Damian Jackson at second base.
Carlos Tosca has seen a number of these late inning collapses by his team. There's a strike, 2-1. We talked about them surrendering 8 runs in the 8th inning and 7 runs in an 8th inning in the last couple of weeks. Tanyan Sturtz with a long face after his contribution here, giving up 2 hits and a walk to the 3 batters that he faces. 3-1. The left-hander was throwing in the pen for the Blue Jays. Jason Kirshner, and a left-hand hitter, was on deck, and Trot Nixon. Again, Carlos Tosca really mixes and matches, trying to get his relievers into good situations, favorable situations. So this could be just a 1-batter stint for Lopez. Nixon on deck, Miller behind him, and the Red Sox have already scored 3 runs in the inning, and there's nobody out. 3-2.
See, we were talking earlier about teams that really get along and root for each other. Look at that. Veritek gives him a pat on the helmet, telling him, hey, kid, now you just go score the run. So that's the type of camaraderie that I'm talking about. He didn't just shake his hand and then just walk off. I mean, he shook his hand, patted him on the helmet, and that's what you see with this Boston team, a team that's very cohesive and together.
Trying to keep the heat on the Yankees. Came into action tonight, just 3 back of New York for top spot in the AL East. The 3-2. He hooks it to left field. Stewart is there to make the catch. The runner from third will tag and score, and the Red Sox have tied the game. Damon in to make it 7-7 here in the 8th inning.
Grady Little did a great job of holding Nomar out until this time of the game, knowing that he's one of the best hitters on the team and that he would come through. And did exactly what was necessary. He needed a fly ball. This ball is actually probably a ball out of the plate, but he did a great job of reaching out and just doing exactly what he needed to do, hitting the fly ball and getting a run in.
Now Trot Nixon will be given an intentional walk, so it'll be first and second one out, and Bill Miller will come up, a switch hitter. And Carlos Tosca with another decision to make. Miller is hitting better than 300 from both sides of the plate this year. Jeff Brantley, who works with us on ESPN, a longtime major league reliever, tells me often that Bill Miller was always one of the toughest outs that he faced, because you could make some of your best pitches and he might not hit them, but he would foul them off. And eventually he was counting on you to make a mistake.
When you talk to almost every pitcher, they'll tell you they'd rather have a guy who takes the big swings, a guy that they can strike out. They hate the little pesky guys that, as you were saying, they throw a great pitch low and outside and they foul it off.
Here's Miller. He is 2 for 4 tonight, has been outstanding in the field as well. Boy, if you reconstruct this inning, you just think about how it could have been. Had Eric Hinsky been able to come up with that ball at third base, he had a double play. And in all likelihood, the Blue Jays would have gotten out of this inning with a lead, and Kelvin Escobar would still be in line for a win. That's now gone. And Derek Lowe is going to keep his winning streak together. 7-0 in his last 10 starts coming in. It looked like for sure he was going to get stuck with a loss here tonight, but that won't happen either.
Well, you know, sometimes you can point to one play and say this was the turning point. I mean, they cracked the door for Boston to step through, and they pretty much, they're trying to really kick it open. But he had a great intent there. I mean, I knew what he was trying to do. He just took his eye away from the glove for a split second, and it cost him.
1-1, lifted in the air left center. Stewart setting up underneath it, will make the catch for out number 2. And the runner's back to first and second. Now Gil Patterson, the pitching coach, back on the phone. They have the lefty Jason Kirshner and the righty Jeff Tam. And with a left-handed batter in Todd Walker coming up, they'll go to the bullpen and bring the lefty in to try to keep the Red Sox from taking the lead.
Welcome aboard. Please turn off all unapproved electronic devices. We have a very crowded flight today, and all overhead space is full. The captain expects frequent turbulence, so please remain seated at all times. And we do anticipate a late arrival. Thank you.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you upgrade your travel plans, you win.
Get ready for the summer's best movie. It's the must-see
was nervous. I need to go to the men's room. You want to come with me?
Sure.
Your hair looks great today.
Thanks. Just got it done.
You're not a woman. Why use a woman's shampoo? Try new Suave for men. Cleans just as good as her brand for less.
All right, we're doing it. Come on, big money. Big money. Big 900. Okay. Give me an L. Yes, there's an L. Okay, I'll spin again. Big money. Big money. Big money. Big money. Yes. I will buy an I. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh. Hi, hon. Real busy. Okay, back to the guy. Woo! Big money!
New from Sony Ericsson. The most fun you can have with a phone.
Airport?
Yes.
Well, my name is Jim.
I just love the smell of your limo, Jim.
Oh, yeah? Well, it's a new car.
I love that new car smell.
Yeah, I wish it was mine.
It smells so good, Jim. This leather.
Here we are.
I'm going to put the polo match at 2, okay? Yeah. I know, I know. Well, Mommy's going to meet me at the airport.
The Red Sox have scored 4 runs already here in the 8th inning to tie the game at 7. Manny Ramirez, who is on deck right now, got it all started with a home run off Tanyan Sturtz. The Blue Jays have already used Sturtz, Trevor Miller, Aquilino Lopez, and now Jason Kirshner here in the 8th inning. Has spent most of the year down in the minors, his second stint with the Blue Jays. As we mentioned, Carlos Tosca just doesn't have enough faith in his relievers to throw him out there for an inning or two, no matter who's up, like Grady Little does and like a lot of managers do. So he mixes and matches a great deal. Here getting a lefty-lefty matchup as Kirshner comes in to face Todd Walker, the 9th batter to come up this inning for the Red Sox. Walker tonight 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Runners at first and second for Boston. Damian Jackson at second. Trot Nixon at first. The breaking ball misses a little bit inside, and it's 1-1 on Walker. The Blue Jays right now with 8 pitchers in their bullpen. They're going with a 12-man staff, and because they've shortened the rotation to a 4-man rotation heading into the All-Star break, they've got 8 guys down there. Same pitch, same place, same result. 2-1.
He's trying to get that inside corner, and he's not getting any love from the home plate umpire. That looked like a pretty good pitch, but I'm pretty sure this is a pitch here where Todd Walker's gonna get something to hit.
After a high fastball, a little bit upset with himself, it looks like, as he chased that pitch, and it's 2-2.
Now he's got a couple ways he can work him. This ball was up in the zone, and I'm pretty sure he knew he was going to get a good pitch to hit. And Chase one that was a little up, and he knows it.
Now Myers and Kirshner trying to get a new bit of strategy against Todd Walker. A 4-run 8th inning. Does anybody on this Red Sox team clean their batting helmet ever? Anybody?
Told you this team can't wait to get dirty. That's the type of team they have, though. They're gritty, dirty, and they play the full 9 innings, as what we spoke earlier.
Each guy's dirtier than the next.
Yeah, these are two teams that they come to play for 9 innings. They're not playing for a couple innings and lay down.
Look at him. Look at that batting helmet.
They don't let you on the team if your helmet's clean.
And Kevin Millar's as dirty as any other 2 guys put together. But as you say, it reflects their attitude a little bit, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about 2 teams here. Like I said, they can't wait to get the uniforms dirty.
Another 2-2 pitch upcoming to Todd Walker. And he's popped him up. Shallow right field. Hudson out. Johnson in. Reed Johnson, the right fielder, puts the squeeze on it and ends the inning. But the Red Sox get 4, and they tie the game.
Welcome to Sirius, the world's only satellite radio service with 100% commercial-free music. 100 streams, including 13 rock, 10 pop, and 9 hip-hop and R&B, plus sports news and entertainment. And now take it from your car to your home. The $99 plug and play. rock the house, rock the car, rock wherever. 100 streams of satellite radio. Sirius, it's on.
What you save on Ramada's weekend rate, spend on film. Book your own getaway at Ramada.com. Ramada, a very good place to be.
The idea is simple. Put the ball in the net. But this is the WUSA. You must travel from point A to B and make your presence felt every step of the way. You cannot let anything get over, under, or around you at any cost. In the WUSA, the women play hard. The fans have the time of their lives. And kids can look into their heroes' eyes and see what they can become. Catch the action of the WUSA every Saturday, live on PAX TV. The WUSA. It could be you.
It's Summer Drive at your GMC dealer, and we're exceeding your expectations with 0% APR for 60 months on every 2003 GMC Envoy and Envoy XL. Professional-grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. Get 0% APR for 60 months for qualified buyers on all 2003 GMC Envoys. Upgrade to professional grade. For the best selection of 2003s, see the pros at your local GMC dealers.
Well, this is more like what we expected, as opposed to last night, where the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 2-1 in 12 innings, 7-7 here tonight, going to the bottom of the 8th. Let's see what's in store at Wrigley Field Sunday night. ESPN presents Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Nextel. Gary Sheffield and the National League East Division League Atlanta Braves take on the Chicago Cubs. Got some bad news. Corey Patterson out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. See how the Cubs can try to shake that off when they play the Braves on Sunday night. Changes for the Red Sox. Nomar Garciaparra, who came on as a pinch hitter and had a sacrifice fly that tied the game, stays in the game at short. And Brandon Lyon, who came up through the minor leagues and made his big league debut as a member of the Blue Jays, comes on now for the Red Sox. 7-7 tie, bottom of the 8th. 9 saves for Lyon. Did a pretty good job, considering his lack of experience, especially in that role. But he gives way now to Byung-Hyun Kim as the closer. Reed Johnson leads off the 8th for the Blue Jays, and he's got himself a bunt single. They don't sacrifice ever, but Reed Johnson shows he can bunt for a base hit pretty nicely.
And this is a great bunt. And he caught Ty Walker playing back and perfectly placed. He takes it with him, and Brandon Lyon just couldn't reach down, just perfect, couldn't reach down and get it. Ty Walker couldn't close the distance, and Reed Johnson has good speed. Perfectly placed bunt to get this inning started.
A couple of years ago in the minors, Reed Johnson stole 42 bases. But remember, the Blue Jays just don't run. Let's see what Orlando Hudson is up to. He is running as Hudson swings away and lets a fly ball down the left field line. Ramirez into foul territory will make a backhanded catch. Boy, not an easy play, right over near the seats.
That play is tougher than it looked. Manny made his play look pretty easy. Anytime you're approaching the fans over there, you know you got hands and arms that might be sticking out, and your momentum is going pretty quickly. He's running pretty hard. That's a great play by Manny Ramirez.
The Blue Jays have the hit and run on with Hudson at the plate, and he fouls out to Ramirez for the first out, and now the batter is Woodward. 1 for 3 tonight. And a fly ball to right field. Nixon back. With room, 2 down. They've also got a new catcher in the game now for the Red Sox after Jason Varitek left for the pinch runner. Doug Mirabelli, who hit a home run off Roy Halladay last night, is now behind the plate.
See, this is how Grady Little wants his bullpen to set up. Now that he has Kim closing, Brandon Lyon did an outstanding job in that limited role. I mean, you never know down the line, he may one day go back to closing. But he did a great job holding down that spot. And see, now he can bring Brandon Lyon. See, Brandon Lyon has been in some tough situations now with the game on the line. So he's just moving him up 1 inning. And this is in the second half, their bullpen is going to set up nicely.
Shannon Stewart, the batter. So we'll find the seats out of play. Hudson, Woodward, and Stewart all going after the first pitch against Brandon Lyon.
Well, Brandon Lyon is throwing them right there. He's giving them good pitches to go at. This pitch to Shannon Stewart was right down the middle.
The Red Sox with 4 in the top of the 8th to tie the game. Then immediately on the first pitch of the inning, Reed Johnson with a bunt single. So Brandon Lyon's only thrown 4 pitches so far. They got a base runner, and he's got 2 outs. Throw to first. Johnson has never really had much of a lead. He was going when Hudson was up on the hit and run, but he's never gotten that right foot off the dirt out on the carpet. You think of turf teams in the past. That's a different era of baseball. Go back into the mid-'80s, the Kansas City Royals, the St. Louis Cardinals, teams that ran like crazy, but that is not the philosophy as much anywhere in baseball these days, certainly not here in Toronto.
Well, you remember Tommy Hurd drove in 100 runs that year with St. Louis and only had like 8 home runs.
That's right. Not going. And the pitch popped out of play again, 0-2. Vince Coleman and Willie McGee, and the Royals, of course, had Willie Wilson and players like that. And it's a much different style now. And as a ball player, let's say you're Reed Johnson. I mean, you're a guy in the minors who can fly, stole 42 bases, but now you come to the big leagues and they tell you not to run as much.
Well, it's taking part of your game away. But like I said, you know, a manager's going to manage a team, and if he's successful, then he'll continue managing it his way. But if he's not successful, they'll find a new manager. You never know. They'll go to a speed team.
And it's come down really from even higher than that. When J.P. Ricciardi took over as the GM, and he came from the Oakland system, and that's the way that they play, on base percentage, power. And tough to argue with their offensive success. They do score a ton of runs, but they don't get any here as they strand a runner. 7-7 going to the 9th. Manny Ramirez will lead it off.
Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, out now on PlayStation 2 and PC. Rated M for mature.
Drinks before lunch?
Water's fine for me.
Water for me too, but with lemon, please.
I'll have a Sam Adams, please.
Make that 2 Sam Adams.
Oh, I'll have a Sam also. Me 4.
Nice. Never miss an opportunity to enjoy a tasty Samuel Adams lager, especially when it's on someone else's tab. Samuel Adams, always a good decision.
This guy got clowned by a serious move.
Only a handful of players can pull off something like this. Any prints? Let's see.
Definitely top of the line. Definitely RBK.
That's mule bugger in gear. We got to get that to the lab, see if they can get an ID on it.
Whoever did this has to be an ATR athlete.
Yep, the usual suspects.
Steve Francis,
Aaron Davis,
Jason Richardson,
Kenyon Martin.
All we got to figure out is
who done it.
Back here at Scottsdale, it's a 7-7 tie in the top of the 9th inning. And Manny Ramirez, who homered his last time up, will lead it off for the Red Sox. He also made a very big catch in foul territory in the bottom of the 8th. He has had a very good all-round game. This home run off Tanyon Sturtz to lead off the 8th. His 6th and 34 career at-bats against Sturtz. Then look at that catch. I mean, that's a big play and a tough play. And high fives all the way around for Manny Ramirez defensively as well. The Blue Jays used 4 pitchers, committed a key error in the 8th inning when the Red Sox tied it. And now Ramirez will come up against yet another new pitcher, right-hander Jeff Tam, formerly of the Oakland A's. No surprise, again, a lot of Oakland connections on this Toronto team. Now with J.P. Ricciardi, the GM here. And Tam has struggled. He has had a rough year, and he has heard it from the fans at times here in Toronto. A guy with a decent track record who had a couple of pretty good years in Oakland, but it has not been that way here in Toronto.
Well, he's a guy who's a sinker slider pitcher, and he must keep the ball down because he doesn't have that overpowering velocity. He's just elevated the ball too much this year.
He took the loss here last night. The 6th pitcher for the Blue Jays. And Escobar went the first 7 innings. 4 relievers in the last inning to get 3 outs. There for a strike, 1-1. Meanwhile, Grady Little has used 3 pitchers, Derek Lowe, Chad Fox, and Brandon Lyon, and there's activity in the Boston pen right now. And it's Kim. Should the Red Sox take the lead, Kim will come in and try to close it out. Lyon working the 8th inning. That's a great look at it from this angle, isn't it? The way that frisbee slider comes up there.
Well, that's what makes it so deceiving, because guys get so used to looking at balls coming over the top. And all of a sudden you have a guy come in who's throwing from down under it. It takes a couple pitches just to get a good look at his arm angle and his release point. But sometimes you don't have a couple pitches, and you may be 0-2 before you realize exactly where his release point is.
Before your knees stop buckling, if you're a right-handed batter. Meanwhile, 2-1 on the dangerous Ramirez, whose home run was his 21st of the season. And a fly ball high in the air, left center field, deep. Wells, Stewart, there. Look out! They can't get it together, and it bounces all the way to center field. And Ramirez is on his way to third base. More defensive problems for the Blue Jays, and it cost them dearly here in the 9th inning.
Well, this is pure just miscommunication. And the center fielder, he is the captain. Anything he calls for is his. You see him put his hand up, but you can't really see what he's saying. But Vernon Wells seems what Manny thinks is a home run.
Well, if he'd been running hard right at the beginning.
Yeah, if he'd been running hard from the beginning, he probably would have had it, inside the Parker.
They have scored at an error on Vernon Wells. The ball hit Shannon Stewart, but they're giving the center fielder the error, as you're saying. He's the captain out there. He's got to take charge. And now the infield comes in. Nobody out. David Ortiz, the batter.
Well, he put up his hand as if to call it, but out the corner of his eye, he saw Shannon Stewart still coming. And I think the fact that he saw Shannon Stewart at the corner of his eye, he just stopped. But you gotta really, really call it. I mean, take control out there. I mean, that's Vernon's play.
1-0 the count on Ortiz. Dangerous left-handed batter. He takes it low, ball 2.
See, this is a play where Vernon needs to be real adamant about the fact that that's his ball. That you saw his right hand up. Well, Shannon Stewart tried to give way to him because I'm assuming he hurt him at the last second. But Vernon, who's a shy guy, who's a quiet guy, needs to really, really yell, even if it takes putting up both hands, and let Shannon know that this is my ball.
And he's much younger. Shannon Stewart's got a lot more experience in the big leagues, but Vernon Wells is the center fielder, and just because of that, he's in charge out there.
He's in charge. Doesn't matter if he's 12 or 22. If he calls for it, it's the center fielder's ball. And Shannon tried to get out of there, but the fact that he was so close to Vernon, disrupted the play for Vernon.
So a runner at third, nobody out, and a 3-1 count on Ortiz. In a much different kind of game last night, the Blue Jays let the game get away from them, just as they have here tonight. They had first and third, nobody out in the 7th in a tie game and couldn't score. They got the leadoff man on in the bottom of the 9th, didn't bunt, grounded into a double play, didn't score, and then lost it in extra innings. Driven into the alley in left center field, and this will get Ramirez home the easy way. David Ortiz with a double, and the Red Sox, who were down 4 entering the 8th inning, have taken the lead in the top of the 9th. Carlos Tosca has seen a number of these games before this season.
Well, Tam's a sinker ball pitcher, and David Ortiz knows if Tam wants to get him out, he's going to try to throw him low and away, possibly to get him to roll over. He does a great job of letting his ball travel in the strike zone and hits it where it's pitched.
Now David Ortiz, after the big hit, will come out of the game. Gabe Kapler is going to come on as a pinch runner. The guy just picked up last week, 2 weeks ago actually, after he'd been let go by Colorado, and he had a monster beginning to his Red Sox career, going 7 for 9 in his first 2 games. Boy, it's an even happier dugout now than it was earlier. A big-time comeback by the Red Sox. Kevin Millar is the batter.
This is a team that has some speed. I mean, Damian Jackson came in for Veritek, and now you have another guy with some speed, and Gabe Kapler coming in. So this team is balanced, I mean, from top to bottom. But the Blue Jays have really hurt themselves with the defensive miscues. Just really, you can feel it in the crowd. I mean, they're basically just taking the whole crowd out of the game.
Hinske made one in the 8th. The Wells-Stewart problem here in the 9th. Look out. The pitcher avoids the bat, gets the ball, looks to third, throws to first, as Jeff Tam does get one out. But Millar got the runner down to third base, so that's good for the Red Sox.
I've never seen this before, but this was the agility class that really paid off for Jeff Tam.
Dangerous looking play, but he makes it. But now the infield has to come in again, as the Blue Jays don't want to let the Red Sox get another insurance run. Johnny Damon is the batter, and they're going to put him on just in case you've assumed that because they've come all the way back and taken the lead that this game is now over, as Kim continues to throw out of the bullpen. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, it's Frank Catalanato, Vernon Wells, and Carlos Delgado, who have combined to go 8 for 12 in this game. So Doug Mirabelli and the rest of the Red Sox will be looking to tack on as many as they can.
Well, they can't ask for a better situation in the bottom of the 9th with those 3 coming up. But they got to keep this a 1-run ball game.
So now first and third, one out, and they've set up the double play with Doug Mirabelli coming up. Last night, Mirabelli, look at him open up and hit one a ton off Roy Halladay. Now with the runners at first and third, one out. A run in to give the Red Sox the lead. Nomar Garcia-Parra on deck, as he came in as a pinch hitter for Freddie Sanchez last inning, so he's in the 9 spot. Mirabelli is batting in the 8 spot.
Tam's going to do his best job to keep that sinker low, to try to get him to beat something into the ground.
Infielder's kind of halfway for the Blue Jays. And the pitch from Tam. It's a pitch out in case the Red Sox have anything going, and they don't. Everything was going fine for the Blue Jays with Kelvin Escobar in the game, but a much different story with the bullpen in there, and it hasn't all been their fault. An error on Eric Hinske, an error on Vernon Wells have contributed to the problems. 5 relievers have been used in this game by Carlos Tosca. Nobody fooled by that. You never got fooled by that, did you?
No, because I was never stealing.
Left foot on the bag until you hear the crack of the bat.
So you saw me play a lot.
Nah, you got some in your younger years.
Oh, yeah.
You got a few.
Hey, I got some in my later years, too. Back end of double steals. I used to tell G to go, man. I got second base, you get third.
Thinking again. Now it's 2-0, and now the problem is, unless the intent here is to load the bases, which I wouldn't imagine it would be because Nomar's on deck. I mean, at some point, Tam's going to have to start throwing strikes, or he's going to have to deal with Nomar.
And Mirabelli has, I mean, it hasn't worked himself into a great hitter's count, but he's going to get a good pitch here to hit, because I just can't imagine him loading the bases to pitch to Nomar.
This is a pretty good double play candidate right here, but got to make him swing the bat. That's not going to happen. 3-0.
Well, he's a perfect candidate for a double play. I mean, this is what they want to get out of this inning. Last thing you want is to lose Mirabelli here.
Green light, and he fouls it back. How about that?
I love it. I mean, that's playing aggressive baseball. You know, that's being proactive and not, not reactive. You know, and he knew he was going to get a pitch right there, and Grady gave him the green light. Go ahead and take a whack at it, especially after how far he hit the ball last night. Why not?
I guess so. I mean, you got a backup catcher at the plate. You've got a two-time batting champ on deck, but Grady Little showing a lot of confidence in Doug Mirabelli. 3-1. Taking all the way. It looked like there. Who knows? But it's a full count. Kapler is the runner at third. Damon is at first. They both run well. Nomar Garciaparra waiting on deck. And the Blue Jays in desperate need of a double play ball right here. The 3-2 will have to wait a moment as he tries to pick up an out an easy way on the bases.
Thought he can catch Johnny Damon leaning. It's a situation where Johnny Damon is probably going to be going on the pitch. And with his speed, he could beat the play at second base.
Runner goes from first, and the pitch grounded out to second. Hudson coming home, and they got him at the plate. Boy, what a play by Hudson, who initially was thinking about turning the double play. But when he realized he couldn't do that because Damon was running, he adjusted through to the plate, and they get Kapler.
This was a great defensive play by Orlando Hudson. But you're right. I mean, this play was set up actually to possibly even tag the runner and throw to first for the double play, but he decided to do it this way. And made a great throw home. I mean, perfect delivery to home. And Myers was able to hang on to the ball.
Kapler's not your first choice if you're a catcher as a guy who you'd want running into you at home plate.
Well, you don't want to take him head on. No. And Greg Myers did a great job of just taking a glancing blow.
A great play by Hudson. Johnny Damon slowed down on his way to second, so Hudson couldn't put the tag on him. And so Hudson knew he had to come home. And Hudson came up limping a little bit after that play. But he appears to be okay, and we've got yet another pitching change here at Skydome for the Blue Jays. We'll step aside and come on back, tell you what's going on after this.
Okay, Bob, out of the pool.
There's no water.
X Games, come to LA. It's off for Hizzle for Shizzle Dizzle.
Starts August 16th on ABC. X Games 9 presented by Right Guard.
Jim Brewer here. Going to show you how the new Right Guard Extreme Power Caps work. Power Caps are little balls of extra odor fighters. Let's say these guys represent odor, and the balls my friend Randy Johnson has here represent the Power Caps. Power Caps destroy odors on contact. Get extreme, get Right Guard. You do not want to be odor right now. Oh!
Well, Orlando Hudson knew plan A was turn the double play, but Grady Little tried to stay out of the double play, so Johnny Damon is running, and when Damon slows down right there, Hudson knows he doesn't have time to tag him and throw to first, so he decides to come home. A perfect throw, and it's still literally bang bang at the plate as Kapler crashes into Myers. And Johnny Damon saying, nice play, young fella. Now Juan Acevedo, who at least for the moment is the Blue Jay closer with Cliff Polite on the DL. He comes in here in a much different situation, down a run. Had 28 saves last year with the Tigers and started as the closer for the Yankees this year until Mariano Rivera got healthy. And Acevedo did okay, but then when he got out of the closer's role, when Rivera came back, then it all fell apart for Acevedo, and the Yankees released him. So the Blue Jays picked him up, and he becomes the 7th pitcher of the night for Toronto. Meanwhile, Young Hyun Kim with time to knit a sweater and read a book down there as he's getting ready to close the bottom of the 9th. He has been up for a long time. The Red Sox with 1 run in. 2 on, 2 out for Nomar, who had a sacrifice fly to tie the game last inning. Takes a strike. Didn't think so, as he talks it over with Marty Foster. The usual Nomar routine between pitches. And the usual numbers for Garciaparra, who in the last couple of weeks, before this recent slump, he had a 6-hit game, David, and 3 days later, he had a 5-hit game. Late movement on that fastball in on his hands, and it's 0-2.
And see, Nomar hasn't been swinging the bat well lately, and when he's going, so-called bad, he chases pitches like that in off the plate.
Two on, 2 out, and the 0-2 pitch goes after a high fastball, and he fouls one into the upper deck. Saw a split screen, Nomar on 2 separate pitches, the routine between pitches with the wrist guards and the wristbands and all that, identical. You can't tell them apart.
But he needs to throw him something in the dirt. Worst thing you can do is throw him a good strike here. He needs to get him something out of the strike zone.
The 0-2. Ooh, a hanging breaking ball. Somehow a swing and a miss on a pitch Nomar would want back. But the Red Sox get 1 to take the lead. The heart of the Blue Jay order is coming up against Byung-Hyun Kim in the bottom of the 9th.
On July 25th,
Hello, boys.
the adventure begins. Angelina Jolie is Lara Croft. Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, rated PG-13. Friday, July 25th, everywhere.
Welcome to Sirius, the world's only satellite radio service with 100% commercial-free music. 100 streams, including 13 rock, 10 pop, and 9 hip-hop and R&B, plus sports, news, and entertainment. And now, take it from your car to your home. The $99 plug-and-play. Rock the house, rock the car, rock wherever. 100 streams of satellite radio. Sirius, it's on.
It rotates, revolves, faster than your imagination. With every breath, every blink of an eye, within every degree lives adventure. A new home for the restless at heart. Reset your compass to Reno Tahoe, America's adventure place, featuring a summer of exciting special events like Reno Tahoe Open, August 18th through 24th. Log on to RenoLakeTahoe.com.
Bottom of the 9th, and the Blue Jays will bring their best hitters up down a run against the Red Sox. Frank Catalanotto, a tough guy to pitch to, a tough guy to defend. In his first at-bat, a base hit through the left side. In his second at-bat, a single into center field. In his third at-bat, he pulls one through the right side, and now he can't think of where else to hit it, so he hits it right on out of the ballpark. What a night for Frank Catalanotto, but it may not be enough for the Blue Jays if Byung-Hyun Kim has anything to say about it. Acquired for Shea Hillenbrand a couple of months ago, he has now moved from the rotation back to the bullpen. He will be the closer for the Boston Red Sox. The guy's had so much success and also a couple of very tough moments in the World Series a couple of years ago, as we all remember. Comes at you sidearm, and he'll face Catalanotto, Vernon Wells, and Carlos Delgado here in the 9th inning. A collapse by the Blue Jay bullpen and the Blue Jay defense the last couple of innings as they blow a 4-run lead, and here's Catalanotto stinging the ball into right field all the way to the wall. It's bobbled by Nixon out there, so Catalanotto has his 5th hit of the game. The second time in his career he's had 5 hits in a ball game.
And as we discussed earlier, these are 2 teams that play the full 27 outs. They keep coming. That's why they're number 1 and number 2 in the American League in batting. It's just got him a low fastball and absolutely tattooed this ball to right field. And he's excited about it.
And he was heading for second before Nixon had trouble picking it up on the track. Leadoff man at second, tying run at second, and a potential winning run at the plate. Vernon Wells 1 for 4 tonight. 21 homers and 81 RBIs on the season, second in the American League. In for a strike is Kim. It's 0-1.
Now this is still a situation where they should play small ball. I mean, Vernon, a lot of managers would love to see him drive the run in, and that's his choice, depending on what his manager would tell him. But if he can get a ball to that right side, you know, it puts more pressure on this Boston team, because now you got the tying run over at third base.
Look at that, and it goes all the way to the backstop, and it bounces right back out to Mirabelli. And now Kim wants to talk to Mirabelli. I got to believe maybe one guy was throwing something else than the other guy was expecting.
See, in a situation like this, earlier in the game, you have some managers that may want a guy like Vernon Wells, who was a big run producer, may want him to hit a ball to the right side to get this runner over to third base. He actually totally missed that ball. Fortunately for Boston, the ball popped right back at him.
And otherwise, Catalanato was headed for third. 0-2 on Vernon Wells. Delgado on deck. Swing and a miss, and Wells is gone.
I mean, this is first of all, it's just tough from that angle. But he has that type of sweeping slider. It's tough to pick up, and it's got a lot of bite to it.
Now, David, let me ask you this. As Wells strikes out, there's a rule in baseball that says you don't put the winning run on base. There's another rule that says you don't let Carlos Delgado beat you, if at all possible. How much are they going to pitch to Delgado here?
Well, then they're going to talk about it.
Because you almost never see a team intentionally put the winning run on base. But at the same time, Delgado is leading the world in RBIs right now. So do you pitch to him, or do you put him on and go after Greg Myers?
Like you said, you know, choose your poison. I mean, there's a couple ways, obviously, they can go here. They can put him on and take their chances and possibly inducing Greg Myers, who's not fleet of foot, into probably hitting to a double play. Or pitch to him and make a mistake with a guy who has been hitting everything out of the ballpark and potentially losing the game. But as we said, putting him on base would put him in the winning run on base. So remains to be seen.
Yeah, tough choice for Grady Little. He can look down at his stats. He can look out at the scoreboard where it was up a minute ago and see that Carlos Delgado was hitting .435. .435 with runners in scoring position this year. That's how you get 94 RBIs before the All-Star break. They are going to pitch to him. Catalanato out at second with one out in the bottom of the ninth. And a foul ball.
See, Carlos has to be patient here. Because, see, this is sort of a mind game. As a hitter, in the back of Carlos's mind, he knows that they don't really want to pitch to me. But what if I get one pitch I can juice? And that's the mind game that he's playing with himself, as you saw him swinging at that first pitch.
And like a lot of left-handed batters as well, he's a good low ball hitter. And down around the knees, he's going to be hacking at those kinds of pitches.
Yeah, he's a great low ball hitter.
He's a pretty good high ball hitter.
But he's a better low ball hitter.
The Red Sox have had some eventful late game situations, as have the Blue Jays, given how both teams' offenses have hit and how both teams' bullpens have struggled at times. A foul back, and it's 0-2.
He's pitching to him.
He is. It's not like he's trying to get him to chase, and if we don't throw him strikes, we'll put him on. He's going after him.
But now Carlos knows that. Now he's 0-2. He's got to believe they're going to pitch to him now. So that'll relieve a little bit of that pressure or that stress or that thought process of wondering if they're going to pitch to me or not.
Struck out Wells on 3 pitches, and now it's 0-2 on Delgado. Look at Veritek standing, or Mirabelli rather, standing to emphasize how high he wanted that pitch from Kim.
Just a situation trying to get him possibly to chase something. It's a big situation, and seeing if they can tap into his, maybe getting him to be over aggressive. But he didn't fall for it.
play third base side. Again, Mirabelli wanted the ball way upstairs. That one wasn't quite as high as the previous one.
He was flirting with danger with that pitch. He got one back because his ball actually was a breaking ball that was right in his wheelhouse that he fouled off. I mean, this is a pitch, I mean, low right there. Delgado just missed it.
The Red Sox were down 7-3 going to the 8th. Got 4 in the 8th. Got another in the 9th. And now the Blue Jays threaten here in the bottom of the 9th. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a foul back again. Man, is he ever going right after it? It was wild at the start. Both Escobar and Lowe struggled. Then, as you can see, they both settled down. Then the Blue Jays got to Lowe in the 5th and 6th. And then the Blue Jays, plain and simple, fumbled this game away. The bullpen and the defense, letting it get away in the 8th and 9th inning. They've still got a chance to win it, though, here, if Delgado can get into one. 2-2, close, but when you've got the major league leader in homers and RBIs on his home turf,
this is great location. Yeah. And if it was in by a little bit.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Carlos Delgado. Catalanotto, the leadoff double. Upstairs, 3-2.
I'm wondering if he's going to come back with that breaking ball. He's throwing him a lot of breaking balls, and you're flirting with danger when you give a guy like Carlos Delgado a look at 4 or 5 breaking balls in one at bat. He may try to come back with that fastball inside to see if he can entice him or get him looking.
Greg Myers, the scheduled on-deck hitter, but Howie Clark has come out in the on-deck circle now for the Blue Jays. 3-2 on Carlos Delgado.
Well, he came back with the breaking ball, and for some reason he seems to think that he can't throw Carlos enough of these. But the more breaking balls you throw a guy like Carlos Delgado, the better he reads it.
A tense kind of a night for both Grady Little and Carlos Tosca with the way this game has gone back and forth. And a long battle here between Byung-Hyun Kim and Carlos Delgado. He's already thrown him 8 pitches in this at bat. Catalanotto got it started with a double. Vernon Wells struck out on 3 pitches. One of the better closers in baseball, taking on one of the very best hitters in baseball. Swing and a miss, and he got him with a high fastball for out number 2.
If you look at Mirabelli, he's almost standing up again. Almost like if you throw it too high and we walk him, that's fine, but he may chase it. And Delgado, he's more of a low ball hitter. You know, that's his strength, anything down. But he got him to chase a pitch that may have been up out of the strike zone.
Now Howie Clark comes up to bat for Greg Myers. Myers is a left-handed batter, so that's not the issue, but they bring up Clark, a rookie who has tremendous numbers, as you can see, in limited at-bats. He's 20 for 49 as a Blue Jay, and he's 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Makes the slider inside. They'll appeal, and he did not go around. 1-0 on Clark. The 2003 World Series of Poker coming up next year on ESPN2 when this ball game is over. Kim getting Wells and Delgado, all-stars, both of them. Now can he get the rookie Howie Clark to lock it up? Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Kim has so much deception in his windup. I mean, it takes you a couple pitches just to get a good look at his release point. And then once you find a release point, he has so much movement on all his pitches. And throwing the ball in the low 90s, he's just tough to hit.
The Yankees won, beat the Indians 6-2. The Red Sox try to keep pace, stay 3 games back. The 1-1. Look out, it hit him in the right arm. He hits Howie Clark, and that'll bring up Eric Hinske. That picture, that expression from Grady Little summed it up beautifully.
He went back with the breaking ball again and just got it too far inside.
It's always a wild ride when Byung-Hyun Kim is in there. He'll usually get it done, but he won't often take the most direct route to the save. And he's aging Grady Little. Here's Eric Hinske, 0 for 4. Outside, ball 1. The tying run at second, the winning run at first, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Out of the base runner out at second. Pretty good speed, and you know anything to the outfield, any base hit, he would try to score. The 1-0 grounded foul, first base side, a ball and a strike.
See, that's what Kim will do to you, though. He likes to throw you that sinker over outside part of the plate. Then he likes to run that slider inside on inside part of the plate. Keeping you in and out, in and out.
As Wells and Delgado both found out here in the 9th inning. Wells saying, man, you're lucky you're a left-handed batter, or you'd have only lasted 3 pitches too. As Wells was baffled by Kim.
Well, I'll tell you what, he did a great job, Kim, that is, pitching to Vernon Wells and Carlos Delgado. We're talking about 2 of the best RBI guys in the game this year that have gotten so many big RBIs for this ball club.
If it holds up, Brandon Lyon would get the win. Jeff Tam would take the loss for the 2nd night in a row, and Kim would get the save. Hinske hoping to have a say about that. Out. Ooh, he called it a strike, and it's 1-2, and Hinske can't believe it. And as you can tell, I was fooled too. I didn't think there was any question this was going to be a ball.
Yeah, this may be the biggest pitch of the night. That ball never gets back to the plate.
Marty Foster with an unpopular call here at Skydome. Going upstairs again. Trying to go upstairs. That's where Mirabelli wanted it. Kim misses away. And it is 2-2 on Hinske.
Should go with another breaking ball. Go with another breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. And you're more likely to get Hinske to swing at it.
I think Hinske's going to be swinging at anything close after that call 2 pitches ago.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it does to a hitter. You know, he feels like he can't take it even though he knows it's a ball.
The 2-2. Ooh, that almost hit him. And now it's 3-2, and the significance of that is the runners will be on the move. Catalinato from second, Clark from first. And that could change everything if Hinske can come up with a base hit or maybe even a gapper.
Well, he threw a lot of breaking balls to Delgado and then finished him off with a high fastball. So it'll be the breaking ball, that high fastball. Again, I got to believe he'd probably go with a breaking ball because you don't want to load the bases because then a base hit wins it for you.
On deck is a right-handed batter, Reed Johnson. Hinske trying to deliver. The Blue Jays down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th. The 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. For the 2nd night in a row, Eric Hinske takes strike 3 to end the game. He was furious at the strike 2 call.
Oh, and this ball, I can understand his frustration there. Threw him a sinker that I believe was down.
A frustrating night. Remember, his error opened up the floodgates in the 8th, and he was called out looking to end the game last night. And strike 2 on him appeared to be outside, and the Blue Jays give a game away. The Red Sox win again and stay within 3 of the Yankees with an 8-7 win here at Skydome tonight.
Lyon the winner, Tam the loser, Kim the save, and a wild game at Skydome. Boston 8 and Toronto 7. Coming up next year on ESPN2, it's the 2003 World Series of Poker. Stay tuned for that. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. A rough one for Carlos Tosca, the Blue Jays. The Red Sox win 8-7 for David Justice. I'm Dan Schulman. So